Hello. I am Cabin856, and I'm joined by my co-commentator, Lord Bakura. How are you today?
Good evening. Welcome everybody. I'm fine. Let's see what we have in store today, because we will be watching the match between Trikkums and Atuna. What do you think of this matchup, Kevin?
Uh, well, I think it could be a pretty close race. I don't know much about either of these runners, but they're both they're not terrible. Of course, we don't want to say any of our runners are terrible, but this is we've got a lot of people from a lot of different skill ranges, and what I'm trying to say is that I think this is going to be a close match.
In all honesty, I don't know Trickums, his playstyle. I've played with Atuna before, and I know he's a very experienced player. So yeah. Oh, and we just got the card up now. Let's see what's on this card. A nice easy middle goal, I see. What do you see, Kevin?
Well, I see some day goals, such as we've got the Sunday TM, but we also have some more lengthy goals, such as complete 4 runes of Alph puzzles and defeat rival 4. So we could be in for the long haul today. But with that out of the way, let's start unleashing our runners.
Yes, I will ping them so they'll be ready, and I'll start the countdown for them.
Another important thing to note, we do have the bug catching contest, so Saturday into Sunday is what we're likely going to see for our day selection. Other important things to keep in mind, we need to be looking for a sleep-inducing move, we need to be looking for Pokemon that either are stone evolutions or evolve early on for that corner goal, evolve 4 different Pokemon. And other than that, seems like the standard hodgepodge of wild Pokemon, finding them, such as Ditto Smeargle, Dunsparce, Girafarig, Wobbuffet, and the like. Now, it is interesting to know, for those of you who may have been following the Crystal Bingo community for a while, this is actually a new card, relatively new, that we are somewhat debuting new for this tournament. So, new goals include ones such as defeat 1 Super Nerd in Mount Mortar, which is not a particularly lengthy goal, but it is a new goal, and a few minor balance changes and a few new Pokemon goals as well.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to get the countdown started, but there's something wrong. Give me a hot minute.
Well, wouldn't be the start of a tournament without a few technical difficulties, but hey,
Like always.
this is going to be we've got a lot of runners. We've got, what is it? We've got 10 groups of 5, I think. So, or 8 groups of 5. So we got about, no, it's 10 groups of 5. I can do math. We've got 50 runners, so yeah, it's going to be a long tournament. A lot of time to get the old tournament D-Rust off. So, things, what are you hoping for with this race in terms of, such as mains or routes that we might see?
Well, I hope at least everybody gets a main. Nothing is more awful than not finding a good Pokemon early on to go through the game with. Other than that, there's some interesting paths people can take. You can do Rival 4, but you can decide to skip it entirely. The Maniacs is on the card, which is a lengthy goal that people can decide to do or not to do. Runes of Alph, the 4 puzzles, is another one of them. So yeah, there's different possibilities for them, but it all depends, of course, if the Pokemon goals exist or not.
Yeah, one of the big issues here is both diagonals, actually, because as you mentioned, Pokemaniacs, that's 10 of them. It can be quite a bit of a lengthy goal, and an even lengthier one is on the other diagonal, complete all 4 runes of Alph puzzles. So
Alright, the countdown is getting started and they will begin shortly.
let's wish our runners the best of luck, and let's see how this ends up.
Indeed, let us be entertained by this race.
One thing I do want to mention is we do have a. You would think we have a little bit of synergy with regards to Ho-Oh-Lugia and 6 different flying types. And one of the things about Ho-Oh-Lugia is actually the static Pokemon in Whirl Islands, although that's probably not the one we're going to be seeing if we see that from the static location, or the static Ho-Oh at the top of Tin Tower. Catching the static Pokemon for legendary Pokemon goals, regardless of what that actually randomized into, still counts according to our rules for the goal. So you could say Ho-Oh-Lugia could be Ho-Oh-Lugia or catch to the level 60 at the top of Tin Tower.
Indeed, and unfortunately you cannot get Lugia. You can get Lugia in the game, but you have to go all the way to Kanto, to Pewter City, to the Old Man. And in order to do so, you have to become the champion, fix the power plant, and yeah, by the time you're done there, you could have fit 2 bingos in, so it's not worth it.
Yeah. But we do see a bit of a starter check. We see Shelder, we see Electabuzz, slightly more runnable, and we see Marowak, which I have some qualms about. Marowak can be usable, but I expect... Sorry?
Yeah, there's only one starter available in my eyes in this one, and that's the Electabuzz.
Yeah, decently fast, decently middling stats. Not great, but definitely serviceable if it's got a good moveset.
No, what you can also do is pick the Shelter, because Evolve 4 is a corner goal, which is quite helpful. And by looking at the Electabuzz, it's not that great of an Electabuzz with Slush Bomb only. So
I mean,
yeah.
it did have Slab? It had Stab Thunderwave.
Oh yeah, our favorite.
But yeah, unfortunately,
and,
not going to help.
We see one of my favorite pokes that Trikkums found, the Arcanine. That's a really good main if he can find that again when he has balls.
Atuna finds finding a lot of that something, a Togepi, which is on the card because we have 2 different baby Pokemon. Trikkums also finding the Togepi, so they'll have to keep a mental note of that.
Yeah, so what you normally want to do, what the bingo card allows you to do, is star goals. So when you see something on a trainer or in the world that you accidentally ran away from, you can star a goal, giving you a little reminder like, oh, I can probably do this. So let's hope our races will use that.
And speaking of things on the card, that's an Executor on the screen, which...
Indeed, it is.
Is on the card, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we also saw a Grimer, which is another thing on the card.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of early things that are on the card. And so that could be quite the metagaming later. If one of them gets a goal and the other one doesn't, they have to guess where they found it.
Yeah, and alternatively, they could perhaps, if they see it again, run from it to try and hide the information.
That is also a valid strategy, of course. It looks like Trikkums has already mentalized what he wants to do, because he's going to catch that Vulpix, a nice easy Stone Evolution Pokemon with the Fire Stone, to get it into a Ninetales.
Something we have been seeing a bit of is a Raichu. And Backer, what are your thoughts on running Raichu?
No comments.
Well, how about Blastoise?
Blastoise is a way better Pokemon. Funny to note, it's a female Blastoise. He ran away from it, which I find amusing. Blastoise can be a good poke to run. But the fun thing about Blastoise, in this game, the gender percentages can be mixed between Pokemon. And Blastoise is one of those Pokemon that has a 12.5% of being female, and he found it. So, yeah, it's not something you want to see in this game.
You know, also finding that Vulpix early evolve.
Yeah, they both find it. To explain it a bit more, in Pokemon Crystal, the attack values and defense values are basically calculated if your Pokemon is a male or female. So male Pokemon tend to have higher attack values, and female Pokemon tend to have better defensive values. It's just the way the game is programmed.
Of course, that doesn't apply to gender-locked Pokemon such as the Nido lines and Chansey Blissey. for instance.
Indeed, or Tauros, Miltank, or legendary Pokemon for that fact. They are completely random. Atuna finding a Weeping Bell, already having 2 pokes that he could evolve.
And in a pinch, you could theoretically run Weeping Bell, although I would not recommend it if there's something better.
Indeed, you can. Like, if it has a really good moveset, you can decide to run it, but it would be a desperate measure for sure.
Meanwhile, okay, that crit and poison may have saved Trikkums from having an even lengthier rival fight. We'll see Atuna going into that fight now. Neither side seems to have a good option for attacking the other. We saw the Marowak had Pin Missile and Aeroblast.
Aeroblast could be an issue for them, depending on what they chose for a main. Like, if they would find an Heracross or set Weeping Bell if they decide to run it, that Marowak could be an issue later on. And Trikkums deciding to get the item here on 29, and he finds the Executor, so he probably is gonna have the first goal.
Unfortunately for him, Sludge Bomb's a bit too much to handle for that tree.
Yeah, this might be one of your cases of a bit of inexperienced here. But I do find it a bit of an odd play why you would go for that item that's out of the way on 29 when, there's not a particular hidden item on the card. Like Beridu's Elixir is not on the card. Game Corners.
The only thing I can think of is perhaps Trikkums is looking for a Pokeball. 5 different types of Pokeballs is on the card. However, there is a slightly obscure strategy, but it's completely consistent, and we have a forced day rollover, so it is actually works perfectly fine.
It is absolutely free. The 5 Pokeballs can be easily obtained by picking a berry tree next to Kurt's house, which we will mention when we get there. And then after you save him from Slowpoke Well, you get given a Lure Ball. And then when the day rolls over, he will have turned said white Apricorn into a Fastball, which gives you 2 Pokeballs. And then you just buy a Pokeball, a Great Ball, and an Ultra Ball, and you're done.
Of course, that strat does require you to go to Blackthorn in order to get the Ultra Ball, but still a lot better than picking up every item on the ground.
It can be fairly quicker. On this card, it seems necessary to go to Blackthorn because Black Glass is on the card, unless there are races decide to pick up every item and hope they find it so they don't have to go to Blackthorn.
This is true. Now, I do want to point out Atuna has found a Sunflora on Route 46.
He has the first bingo goal, or as we would call it, he has made first blood, and Trikkums gets the Togepi, so he has a baby. And both of them are still kind of looking for a main, and it might be that Atuna is interested in this Venusaur with Slash.
Yeah. Alternatively, I hope it's not the case, but he did see the moveset on the Sunflora, and it looked like Mega Horn Jump Kick, which I'd run that Venusaur, personally.
That is a very good Venusaur. You'll have Slash for your Changes and Blissies and for the Pokemon that are defensively weak. And you have Sacred Fire for Steel types and Aurora Beam for your Dragons and your Flying types. So yeah, that's pretty good coverage.
Looks like Trikkums is trying to catch the Executor, but getting a little bit of a bad RNG, and he actually decides to run from it.
I think he ran out of balls. He threw his last ball.
Oh, that is really unfortunate, because if he doesn't have a good main, then he could be in serious trouble.
Yeah, he has to go buy balls now again. He might sell the Ether he found on 29. That should give him a ball of 5 again.
Yeah, and Ether will sell for 600, so.
A little shout out, Atuna did find a Grimer earlier, but I'm not sure if he was also running out of balls or not, but he did not catch it. And we can see Trikkums here falling for our first optional. The very first trainer in the game. He could have avoided that easily.
It might be that Trikkums is just going to be running the Electabuzz.
No, I don't like that choice at all. That Electabuzz only has Sludge Bomb. Poison is one of the worst coverage moves you can have in the game. It's only super effective against grass, and pure grass for that fact. And there's only a handful of Pokemon in this game that's pure grass, so I do not like that choice at all.
Well, it looks like we found a random Sing TM on a Pokemon. So it's going to be that sleep-inducing move, and that's actually pretty big if you find a random TM that is useful.
That is indeed, it's a nice find for sure. I would have waited a little bit with it. You have it in your pocket. It's not going to be leaving you soon, and you might catch a poke that has it anyway. But if he wants the goal, then it's a fair thing to do. Now Atuna, on the other hand, here he has found his favorite Pokemon, Lapras, and it doesn't surprise me he's a catch it. Actually, it won't surprise me if he'll try to run it.
It looks like Trikkums is desperately trying to find something that can damage the Nidoqueen, but this could be a rough fight. Quad resistance versus mirror moving stab.
Yeah, this is Trikkums is realizing that his choice in deciding to main the Electabuzz is not a good one.
That is one runnable Nidoqueen with Stab, Bone Club, Fire Punch.
Oh, indeed, indeed. Thankfully, it's only level 2.
And then a Graveler afterwards.
Oh, it's not good. This is your exactly the point I was making. Like Graveler also quad resisted to Sludge Bomb. Like Poison is such a bad typing. Though it has to be said that both of our Ramas are having a little bit of difficulty finding a good main early. Although I would run the Venusaur 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you there. Slash, Aurora Beam, and Sacred Fire is definitely good enough. You'll eventually get Surf, and you can pick up other TMs on the ground, which could be good. Venusaur also gets a decent amount of level up moves.
Now, can we see the miracle here of the Togepi of Legend defeating the big bad evil Graveler? Unfortunately, it gets taken out by E-Speed.
Might have needed to use a potion on that, but I guess he was banking on Pidgey.
Hey, don't mess around with Pidgey, and it's dead. Never mind.
Super effective hidden power on that Vulpix, however, saves the day.
That must have been hidden power, water, or grass, according to the damage it did, because Graveler is quad weak against those.
It could have just been any normal super effective move, because it was pretty low.
No, Trikkums also finds the Weeping Bell. Did he buy Pokeballs or not? I don't know. I don't think he bought. I don't think he did.
Yeah, I also don't think Trikkums has bought Pokeballs, and if you don't have Pokeballs, then there's really not much of a point in seeing encounters, so you might as well use a Repel.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Atuna here, on the other hand, he's getting a bit unlucky. He's catching the Raichu for some reason. I'm not sure why. And he's going back to the center to heal. So Trikkums, he is in the lead now, progress-wise, but if you would say main-wise, he's definitely needs something better, or that Electabuzz has to learn a move soon.
Well, the random Love Ball on the ground there is a very convenient item to find.
It is. In this point, you don't have to go to Blackthorn. You can just pick up the Lure Ball from Kurt, give him the Apricorn, and come back later.
Now, Tuna actually has put the Raichu in the lead, which... it's fast, I suppose, but you're
what
not
does
exactly,
the Raichu have? That's the big question.
Yeah. You're not exactly going to be able to get EXP on the Venusaur, unless he plans to run the Raichu. The chat is informing us it has Spark.
It has that stab for you.
But Spark Raichu runs into the same issues as Sludge Bomb Electabuzz.
It has a bit of better coverage, but you'll be ultimately walled against, well, there's your perfect example, Nidoqueen. But he has Metronome, so if he wants to meme it up a bit, he can Metronome. Now, Trikkums here is checking Route 36 and hoping to find something better to main. Now, I like this play, because if you would look at a route, you might as well look at Route 36. There's level 5, level 6 Pokemon there. instead of your level 2, level 3 Pokemon in Dark Cave and your level 4 Pokemon on Route 31.
It looks like the Raichu also has Sludge Bomb and a Nightshade, but to Atuna's horror, there's a Graveler on screen.
Now, with Nightshade, he can at least hit the pokes he's walled against, because he can hit the normal types with Spark. And that Graveler didn't look that much dangerous at all. Now, Trikkums here finds a coughing on 36, which is on the card. So let's see if he decides to catch it. He's running away from it again. Do you think he's not noticing it's on the card, or do you think he's saving his ball for a main?
I can think of 3 situations. Either he doesn't notice it's on the card, he's saving his balls for something runnable, which I think is well, speaking of runnable, or he could be just trying to conceal information.
Now that could be an excellent main. The legendary Pokemon Entei has a really good physical attack, but can be special. Oh, and it's Catch Sludge Bomb. That is actually a really good thing. So you're guaranteed to have a good physical attack on that thing. Now let's hope it has something else than Sludge Bomb, and yeah, he has a main.
That is very runnable.
Oh, that's a really good Entei. I want to even go out of my way to say that's almost perfect coverage. No, that is perfect coverage. You'll hit anything with that without that much issue, I believe.
Yeah, water is pretty solid, and anything that water can't hit, Sludge Bomb should be able to.
Oh yeah, Trikkums now on his way to continue his journey, while Atuna is leveling up his There is Raichu that can't even take out a level 3 Teddiursa with Spark, and this is why Raichu is such a bad Pokemon. It's just not good. This is why you always run Light Ball Pikachu. It's way better.
Coming from somebody whose Pikachu is their favorite Pokemon,
I do indeed meant it as a joke.
But Raichu's both attack and special attack are, what, 90, I think?
I believe 80. 80, 85, something in that regard. The only good thing Raichu has for itself is its speed.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty fast, but unfortunately its defense stats are not particularly high.
Indeed, and Trikkums now realizes his situation where he tries to beat the level 9 with the level 5 Entei. Now what he does now, he's putting up the Electabuzz in front. I don't like that play. You should try and switch out to the third Pokemon you have, let the Blastoise kill that off, and then send out the Electabuzz, so your main gets a bit of XP. But it's to each their own, of course.
Perhaps he noticed that it was outsped, or sorry, his what I'm having a bit of a moment here. His fire main was outspeeding the Blastoise, but unfortunately he got all the experience on the Electabuzz, so...
Yeah, and this is exactly my point. If he would have used the Entei and then switched out to his third Pokemon, the Entei would have gotten a bit of XP. Now the level 5 Entei has to go up to 2 level 7s. It seems like he's realizing it, because he's deciding to soft reset for it. And on the other hand, the Raichu is also having a little bit of difficulty. It gets through the fight, but it gets beat up quite a bit.
Yeah, there have been quite a few things weak to Spark, though, to Atuna's benefit, though. But yeah, it's not very often that we see a level 5 Pokemon like the Entei, thank you, defeat the level 9 like that, especially when it's a fully evolved Pokemon like Blastoise. Even a legendary can have a lot of trouble due to the large level difference.
Yeah, and the fact that Blastoise has Mega Kick, which is a 100 power normal type move, that hits like a truck. Now he will get the XP now. He planned it out somehow, and yeah, he just has to survive. Which the Entei does, and now he gets all that juicy XP on the Entei, and it should grow to level 7, maybe even level 8.
Yeah, Blastoise is worth a lot of experience when you're that low leveled. Atuna grabbing a Vital Throw TM from Falconer. Not a bad move, it's not great, but it's decent coverage. Definitely usable.
It'll help you for sure against rock steel types, but you'll normally use it against normal types because rock and steel types basically have good defense, so they'll survive a vital throw for sure.
Yeah, usually. But it can carry you until you get to surf.
Now, what I do like is that both our rummers, even though they have not the fastest of Faulkner times, but they are still close together, which
Yeah,
is
could
very
be
good.
anyone's game.
Indeed, indeed. Now Atuna deciding to rappel through 32 and pick up some items. He's probably picking up items to see if he can sell in Azalea. Sacred Ash is a good pickup. What Sacred Ash does is that it will revive that Pokemon in your party, plus the benefit that it will also heal the rest of your Pokemon in your party, plus all the power points of said Pokemon of the moves. So it's actually a Pokemon Center in your bag, but the downside of it is you can't use it in battle, and you have to have a dead Pokemon in your party. But it's a really good find for him.
Now, if we look at the card, well, actually, I'm gonna hold off and point out Trikkums reset there after getting paralyzed by thunder. I would actually, if I were Trikkums, I would just take the thunder because resetting can be pretty lengthy sometimes.
Yeah, maybe he just doesn't want to deal with it damage-wise, because that thunder could hit like a truck, even though it's from a baby Cyndaquil.
True, but one crab hammer would be enough to.
Yeah, he gets the kill now. It seems like, and he should kill that Larvitar too with Crab Hammer.
Now, one thing I did notice, it looked like Trikkums was actually going for a hard reset. Now, Pokemon Crystal does have a soft reset feature. If you press A, B, start, and select at the same time, it will soft reset to the title screen. And it is a fair bit faster than doing a hard reset.
It is. We don't know how he's playing. He might play through keyboard, or his controller setup is different. Because if you have set your keyboard to one button, that it will reset the game. It might be quicker for him.
Maybe, but regarding the animation fade out.
Indeed, yeah, I agree with you totally. Meanwhile, Atuna hit Hiker Anthony, as he's called in the vanilla game. And yeah, he's having a bit of trouble with him because level Elf Kingdra, that's a tanky boy right there.
Luckily for Atuna, his Raichu's actually pretty high leveled for this point, actually.
Indeed, he's going to be entering Slowpoke Well in a bit, and the Pokemon in Slowpoke Well are between level 7 and the highest level is level 14. And by the point he is reaching the level 14, he should be around level 15, maybe 16, depending on the XP. And this is what I was talking about. He's picking up the White Apricorn, and he's going to benefit from the day rollover, as you should in this case.
Trikkums going out of the way to pick up every item. I'm curious if that carries on into Union Cave, actually, because, picking up items are pretty nice. However, believe it or not, you'd be surprised at how often it's not actually worth it, because picking up items... Okay, and Trikkums is actually going to be fishing?
He's going to be fishing. I think he wants to get a bit of an advantage here by finding a poke or something. I don't entirely hate the play. Like, if you're 23 minutes into the game and you just did Faulkner and you don't know where your opponent is, and if you have seen other races, normally people are done by Bugsy at this point, so I don't entirely hate the play.
Yeah, I definitely like the idea of picking up the rod. Maybe it would be a little bit better to save it and go for a meme fish later on, like perhaps in Olivine or Toto Falls, because it's a lot harder to metagame where it is, because if you're going to fish for a new main, this is the place where you would fish.
This is correct, yeah, and this Entei is a really, really good main. There's no need to main switch at all. But yeah, I do not know what's his thinking style is. We can ask it when the race is done. And meanwhile, Atuna is making short work of the rockets.
Yeah, this Raichu is holding its own surprisingly well.
And
You
of course, what kind of rando? The lady rocket grunt that looks like Jessie from the anime as a Wobbuffet. You'll love to see it.
now want to go back to what I was mentioning about items briefly. So yeah, picking up items. You might think that picking up one item here or there, it's pretty fast, but you'd be surprised actually, because if picking up one item is about 2 or 3 seconds, then pick up 10 items, that's 30 seconds gone. And that's
Oh
not even
yeah,
factoring the amount of time it takes to go out of your way to pick up the item, the movement.
indeed,
So
indeed.
it can,
A perfect example would be the full item races people do, where there's a mode where you only pick up the items that are on the floor and from NPCs, and another mode is where you pick up also the hidden items, and the difference between them can vary between half an hour and an hour. So yeah, picking up items can definitely be a trap for sure.
yeah, especially when there's not really a lot of need to pick up items in this particular format. Of course, the one exception is TMs. TMs can have a lot more value sometimes if there's a move goal. Although we already have a sleep-inducing move, and we already have a pretty solid main, so...
Indeed, if I were in this situation, I already have my TM sleep-inducing move. The only TM I have to pick up is TM 2127, and yeah, you don't need the money per se for game corners or whatever. So I would just blitz with this Entei, for example. The Raichu does need a bit more of coverage, I'd say. So picking up TMs for the Raichu is a fair play, but the Entei doesn't need any more help. I would blitz with the Entei.
I would agree. But speaking of Atuna, we see Atuna giving the white apricorn and picking up the lure ball now. And with
Indeed.
that love ball that we saw earlier, there actually is no need to buy an ultra ball in black form.
You totally don't have to. Indeed, I'm not sure if Atuna is gonna pick up items now. I know by Atuna's gameplay, he has told me that he likes to pick up every item before Azalea to sell it, so he can buy enough repels, escape ropes, and super potions. And after that, he tends to blitz quite often. So I think he's gonna just skip all the items from now on out. But I might be wrong. I'm not sure what's on in his head. And even though Atuna is in Buxy's gym, Trikkums is just entering well. They're still not that far apart. I would say they're only like 4 to 5 minutes apart. And Trikkums has the better main.
Yeah, as evidenced by Raichu having to sludge bomb Doug Trio.
Now I do want to call out that Moltres with Earthquake. That's a disgusting poke. That's
I do want to bring attention to the fact that both of our mains that we see have Sludge Bomb. The starter had Sludge Bomb. The Nidoqueen was mirror moving Sludge Bomb. Everything has Sludge Bomb.
Are you saying this ROM is toxic, Kevin?
Could very well be. We see
Alright,
Pichu
let's see.
on the card.
Pichu is on the card. It's a baby. It's one of the best babies around. Like the design is perfect, the cuteness is perfect. Like what? That's one of the best pokes around. Of course, totally not biased or anything.
Yeah. So let's actually talk about route. So we've actually seen a considerable amount of information. We've seen Grimer, we've seen Coughing, we've seen 2 different babies now with the Pichu being shown. We've seen a Nidoqueen.
Indeed. If I would say for Atuna and for Trikkums both, row 5 is on their path, row 4 is on their path. They could do column 1 as well if they both have 2 Pokemon to evolve already. So yeah, you can already get 3 bingos by what looks like it already.
Yeah, and if you really need another bingo, top left, bottom right is a guaranteed bingo. Well, assuming you get 4 evolve, because the Hoalugia you can climb Tin Tower, and 4 Ruins of Elf puzzles, although lengthy, is a guaranteed goal.
It is a guaranteed goal, and if you go for row 4, you might as well go climb Tin Tower as well. But the best outcome would be finding a Hoa or Lugia on a trainer, or even better in the wild. Gives you nice TLBR gold right there.
Yeah, definitely agree. But factoring in those goals, we are actually pretty close to having a path for runners. columns. A Ditto Smeargle would give them column 2. Dunsparce Wobbuffet Giraffic would give them top right, bottom left. Flap Skiplum would give them column 4. A lot of potential.
Indeed. They basically need a couple more poke info, if not only one more poke info. And they can finish. Like if they find Ditto Smeargle, you have 5 bingos right there because you can get the Ho-Oh on top of Tin.
Yeah, and Trikkums even fished up a Nidoran, which, just in case the Nidoqueen doesn't exist, we've got Nidoran info.
Did he not catch that Nidoran?
I wasn't actually looking to see if he caught it or not, but he does have the information of where it was. It was fishing, so it's something that Atuna doesn't have.
Speaking of Atuna, it looks like he's having a bit of difficulty with Bugsy, because I can see he's not landing the sinks. The dearest Mark doesn't want to get asleep. It's wide awake.
Yeah, Sing is when we think of sleep-inducing moves, we like to think of moves such as Spore and Sleep Powder. Sing, however, is not on the top of our choice.
Is it not 50 accurate? 55 accurate?
I think in this gen it's 55%.
Yeah, it's a bad move. Trikkums also picks up the lure ball, but he decides not to give the white apricorn, which is okay because he can just buy an ultra ball if he goes for black glasses and blackthorn.
Yeah, this is a shining example of why Raichu is sometimes not a particularly high-level main.
Indeed, like Raichu can be decent if you have the necessary coverage with it, but a tanky poke is Mach, which is special defensive, and Raichu is not the best of defensive pokes. It's getting easily destroyed. I can see Atuna getting a bit upset there, like he's being a bit hard-walled, while Trikkums can catch up with that now.
I didn't see what was past the Muck, because he could have killed that Muck with Spark. He definitely outsped it. But...
He definitely outsped it, but you are a Raichu. He already used all his healing, and one slap in the face and that Raichu goes down.
True, but of course, I don't know if he saw the third Pokemon or not, but...
I didn't.
If he hadn't, then you might as well just see what it is, and maybe it's something you can OHKO with Spark. If not, you can always reset.
Indeed, if it's like a Gyarados, you're fine.
But yeah, we see Trikkums already catching up on Bugsy.
This is your prime example why mains are so important. Even if you are behind somebody, Trikkums just has the way better main.
Oh, it's a Weezing. Wow.
Oh. Weezing with Earthquake.
Oh yeah, that would cause a lot of trouble.
That's an issue for both of our runners, actually.
Entei, however, is definitely bulky enough to survive.
Yeah, that's the plus side on having a legendary. Not all legendaries are tanky, but they tend to be higher stats than for example Raichu. And if I might give my opinion, I don't agree with Atuna's choice to main the Raichu. That Venusaur would have been a way better main.
I do actually have to agree. Now, Raichu does have 80 special defense, which isn't terrible, but its physical defense is 55, and coupled with a 60 base HP, it's definitely frail on the physical side. Frailer than Flareon on the physical side.
And plus, with that, Raichu is only weak against ground moves, and ground moves will always be physical in this gen, so that won't help you at all. Now Trikkums here deciding to do a little bit of shopping, and he's buying some more balls. Looks like he's going on a spending spree. He's saving for the rival fight, which I don't hate. But with this Entei, you're confident enough. You've sent it in Azalea, so why not go in there? And we can see here that our rival is cheating yet again. He hasn't set a foot yet in Ilex Forest, and somehow he has managed to capture a Celebi. Now Trikkums is deciding to heal before attacking the Marowak. I don't hate this, because Crabhammer has a chance to miss, and you are on the verge of death. But he has no issues with Rival at all, it seems. And with that, both our runners are basically in Ilex, and yeah, they're basically neck and neck. So it's a really enjoyable race to be watching right now.
Yeah, anything can happen, and we see Tuna picking up that extra item in
I am not sure why he's picking up items. I does he want more money for TM? Like what's his mindset?
Maybe. Now, picking up that item, in my experience, isn't usually that costly, because due to the movement, it lets you actually use a repel in the same menu that you use cut, usually. But, that aside...
Of course, every runner has their own way of playing, but it's just why let's see if he picks up more items. That's what I'm wondering about. Now, Bugsy gave a Megahorn TM, which is, of course, what kind of rando? Him giving a bug move.
Quite a lot better of a bug move than, what is he giving Vanilla? Fury Cutter?
Yeah, Fury Cutter normally. Which, in the vanilla game, actually helps out a bunch for the speedrun. You teach Fury Cutter normally to Crocodile and wipe Whitney's gym with it. But yeah, Atuna deciding to still pick up items. We can ask him later why he chooses to do that. But
picking up items.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the play because Atuna already has an elixir in his bag. He already has enough healing items, I would say. So why pick up more items?
Now, I am a big fan of the fishing in the forest play. Sometimes, actually, I used to just get a random headbutt slot in the forest, actually. Nobody ever sees it coming.
Oh yeah, it can definitely be something that if your opponent tries to metagame it, they might drive into a brick wall with it and get absolutely bamboozled by it, giving you a little bit of an advantage. Now, I did not see that TMs that Atuna was checking. Did you see what the TMs were?
I didn't. I think one of them heightened evasiveness. Doesn't seem like they were useful, though, based on Atuna's lack of purchase. Atuna actually muscle memorying to the bike shop while on the bike.
No, he's getting the super bike right now. Don't you see? Like he has gotten a little boost on his bike. We don't see it, but when you play and like you have two bicycles now, combine them together and you have the super bike.
I just didn't know what would happen if you picked up the bike twice.
Well,
apparently you just get a second bike.
You have a bike for Monday and then you have a bike for the weekend. That's basically what you have.
What about Tuesday through Friday? Are we just not biking on those days?
I mean, you have to do a bit of exercise, my guy. Just walk off a bit. Don't need to bike every time.
Trikkums just fished in the daycare.
Yes, the reason he does that, it's an old play that we would see runners do, and I never do it myself, but yeah, to each their own. And Atuna now in bug catching, finding a level 18 Goldeen.
Now, we do have to win the contest. A level 18 Goldeen is probably not good enough.
Especially when you weaken it to that state, because weakening does matter a bit with the contest. Believe it or not.
Slightly, but it does a bit.
And if you have a level 18 Goldeen, you need all the help you get, my guy. And perfect example for Trikkums here. You can clearly see he isn't used of the movement yet, hitting the famous spinner in Spinner Hell. And let's just hope he gets a bit of info off him.
Speaking of info, we saw a Nidorino in the contest. Now, if that was actually high enough level, that could win.
Oh, that could definitely win.
Speaking of level 18, I would definitely catch that and roll
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
I think that's a very high win percentage right there.
Gotta be careful if he's his Raichu is almost dead. Another Giga Drain.
Yeah, and he should throw a ball right now, actually. Oh well, I say and he does it.
I don't think he healed his Raichu before he entered the contest.
He didn't. Like, look at that Nidorino, 50 health. That should be a win.
Oh, he lost to the Pinsir.
Now, I don't want to be that guy, but I'm willing to say if he didn't weaken it, it would have won.
We do have a calculator loading out there. I actually want to calc that.
Yeah, if you can calc that, feel free. Also, Kenya being a Crobat with Rock Slide, Ancient Power, Whirlwind, and Growl. That's a pretty rocky Crobat there, buddy. And Atuna having a little bit of a standstill. He's not playing anymore. Hopefully there's nothing wrong with him. Trikkums here finding a level 12 Persian. Now, if that Persian would have been a bit higher level, it might have done the job. But there are a lot of Pokemon in the contest that can give you the victory. There's a Jinx that Atuna found, that Persian if it's high level, the Nidorino, the Goldeen even if it's level 18. 16, it's a bit of a risky play, but if there's nothing else you can try it.
Tauros. That's definitely going to win.
That's definitely, if it's high level enough. 15, oh, that's a big chance. It might still lose if you're unlucky, but that's a big chance of winning. Now he decides to weaken it. I think that's gonna matter. I don't think that Tauros is gonna win anymore now.
Yeah, Tauros is pretty decent for its base stats.
It is, but it's level 15 and he has weakened it. I'm not sure. And again, Trikkums deciding to pick up items. And I'm definitely gonna ask. Oh, he did win with it. It looks like we have a little bit of delay, but if we look at the card, he has marked the goal, so he did win with the Tauros. While Atuna is
still having a bit of trouble.
Oh, he did find an Eevee, which is nice info to have. And oh, that Tauros has Arrow Blast. He's teaching it Headbutt. He's gonna main switch to the Tauros.
Not a terrible idea, but the Entei is probably still better to keep.
Yeah, I would not even consider main switching to the Tauros. Yeah, you can't move while Pokemon has Mill. What I love to do is after bug catching, I'll pick up Kenya because you can use the move box feature then before that, and which is way quicker than just depositing and withdrawing poke. And Atuna catching a Jinx level 15 should do the trick.
Now the main benefit I can see of switching to the Tauros is over the mostly special Entei. Is because A, it does get stab normal. B, we get badge boost normal from the Whitney's gym coming up, and we also get badge boost from the Falconer's badge of an attack multiplier. So badge boost is in this game, and it does actually significantly favor physical attacks.
I believe it gives you a 10% boost, right? Depending on what badge you pick up.
12.5%.
12.5, yeah. Like, so, for example, the first badge is the Flying badge, and it will give you 12.5% boost in Flying type moves. Bug badge goes for bug moves, etc., etc. So the only type that's getting a bit shafted by this is the Dark type that don't have a gym. And what typing am I forgetting? Kevin, that's not having a badge boost?
Just Dark in this gen.
It is just Dark, yeah. The Dark only got a gym in the infamous game Sword and Shield with our gym leader from KISS. What was his name again?
Pierre.
Pierre, indeed. Pierce was it? It was Pierce, yeah.
Now, in addition to type badge boost, there is also stat badge boost, and it's I believe it functions the exact same way as in Gen 1 and in Gen 3. So the first badge you pick up, and by first we mean the first badge canonically, if you pick up the badges out of order, that doesn't matter. But yeah, so in this game, Falconer's Badge will give you a 12.5% bonus to your attack stat. Whitney's Badge will give that bonus to speed. Chuck's Badge will give it to... I believe Chuck's is special, and then defense is the Glacier Badge, Price's Badge.
Yeah, which would make sense because Glacier is the ice type. Little shout out, by the way, to Atuna, nicknaming the Raichu to our dearest organizer Hulk, because Hulk was famous for running Raichu and it went downhill. So every time we find Raichu, we call it Hulkachu, which he has named it after right now. So little bit of community backstory right there. And he's decided to go with Hulk sucks.
The resetting on the on Whitney.
Yeah, he's really reset happy, Trikkums.
Yeah, but
and
I
he's
really...
deciding to main switch to the Tauros.
If it was level 18, I would agree completely, but you'd be surprised at how much of a huge difference 3 levels makes.
I wouldn't do that at all. That Entei is gonna get served soon. It already has a perfect coverage. Why would you main switch? It's not like this game. You have to go to red in Mount Silver or to
that
the
is
E4.
Also true.
The big fight you have to do is Chuck, which is level 30, and if I look at the card, Rival 4, which is also his team is around level 30, but that's it. And you don't need an S tier main. That Entei, even though it's more physical and it has more special moves right now, it's perfectly fine.
Atuna, having cleared out Whitney, going to pick up the squirt bottle. Trikkums will be following shortly.
Indeed,
our runners are still neck and neck.
Yeah, they're holding hands. They're holding hands. Atuna having a bit of an advantage for having Executor and Sunflora. But Trikkums does have the info for it, so he can just go back for it. And yeah, all he needs to do is hope and pray that Executor wasn't a rare on 29. Now, what I do like to point out here, Atuna decides to go through National Park to go to the Sudowoodo, where other people tend to go through Spin a Hell Patch of Grass and fight the optional bug catcher. What are your thoughts about that, Kevin?
I almost always go through the contest area.
Really? I'm the opposite. I always do the bug catcher.
It's one extra trainer, and I think it is slightly faster if you factor in the fact that you don't have to fight him on subsequent passes. However, you also have to use a repel almost always, otherwise you will run into a Pokemon. That grass has a very high encounter rate. And I find that the bag menu, in my opinion, makes it not worth it.
Yeah, like me myself, I tend to mix it up a bit. One time I repel, the other time I don't. And maybe I see something there. Like for this card, you can see 6 different flying types is on the card. And yeah, you might find a flying type there, or you might find another baby there.
Maybe. If you have to pick up the TM, say if 20 TMs was on the card, then it's definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's again to each their own taste. And
Yeah.
Trikkums is also going through National Park. And yeah, then both our young adventurers will be in Aquatic soon, fighting the infamous Kimono Girls.
Because yeah, that is also a thing about the Tauros. The Tauros can't really make good use of Surf. The Entei can make use of both special and physical moves. The Tauros is basically exclusively physical.
A problem with that Tauros as well, it'll have Headbutt, Aeroblast only. Did it have any other moves besides that?
That's Metal Claw and Rolling Kick. So
Okay,
it does have something for steals, but...
For steals and rocks.
Yeah,
it's not great, but it does have something.
Skarmory could pose a bit of a problem.
You can Rolling Kick a Skarmory, but it is not preferable.
Now, Sudowoodo is a Bellsprout, so that's a trade Pokemon, and we might actually see Trikkums. Okay, no, Trikkums just wanted the rocks.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where I'm not sure why he's picking it up. It might be a bit of inexperience where he thinks he might need it later.
Maybe. Or perhaps maybe Trikkums has been doing some full item randos?
Yeah, it might be muscle memory as well. I always catch myself off guard if I've done a couple of those key item, full item randos, and then I hop into a bingo where I pick up every little item that's on the ground like the little hamster I am, not realizing how much time I'm wasting.
I mean, we joke, but we all know Black Glasses is going to be behind Rock Smash and Burn Tower.
Oh yeah, it's canon at this point.
Kimono Girls going smoothly for Atuna. There was a Nido King on the girls, meaning we got info on even more info. And
Yeah,
too.
I definitely think Trikkums should have been using his balls to catch some of those poke goals. Like with that Nidoran, you just get the shiny, get the XP share, and then go do your Maniacs or go do your rival for evolve that thing and use a Moonstone on it, and you're done. That way, you don't have to walk into the trap that the Nido King or Queen might be a 10%, and you might waste a lot of time looking for it.
Here we see one of the worst Pokemon for Atuna to find at this point, a Gligar.
Yeah, that's hard walling him. He can Nightshade it, which it should have two-shot him, but he will get Surf now, and unfortunately for everybody, he will not get the Surfing Pikachu sprite because it's a Raichu. But yeah, it's what it is. And again, they're neck and neck. Like they're basically holding hands at this point.
Yeah, although after Trickum's main switch to the Tauros, I definitely would give Atuna the edge.
Oh yeah, I think it was a misplay of Trickums to switch off the Entei.
Yeah, because I mean, after what the Kimono Girls and Whitney, it's still not higher level than the Entei was.
No. Like he's gonna be walking into the trap where your rival will have Pokemon between level 18 and 22. Morty's gym will have Pokemon that are around level 20, and Morty's Ace is level 25, 26, I believe. So yeah, it's gonna be rough for that Tauros.
Now, Atuna did teach Surf over Sing, so unless Atuna has another sleep-inducing move.
Yeah, we definitely. You're in the room. You should have. I didn't see it, but you.
I mean, I just want to double check.
Yeah,
okay.
We need to double check that real quick.
The chat is saying that Atuna does have another sleep-inducing move.
Ah, okay. Then it is all fine in the world. Where would we be without chat, right?
Yes, we've got chat as our infamous third pair of eyes. We'll ask Atuna to double check at the end of the race.
Indeed, what we could do, I don't want to break him from his concentration though. We could spend a little bit of energy of us to keep an eye on it. Because I don't remember seeing anything else that he had a sleep-inducing.
I also do not remember seeing another thing with a sleep-inducing move, because they have not been catching a lot of Pokemon.
They have not. In fact, this is one of those races which sub-hour Chuck won't even happen, I think.
Apparently, Sing was on both Pidgey and Togepi.
Well, again, once chat being the absolute MVP that it's famous for.
Fair enough. Tough luck from that Marowak. Believe it or not, Marowak can survive a surf more often than not.
Marowak is one of those unappreciated pokes where it's not in the randomizer unfortunately, but give it a thick club and its attack will double. And it can actually be a threat. It has good defense, it has decent attack with a thick club that doubles. Its speed and special defense are just not great, but Surf from a Raichu, yeah, that won't kill it. It's not stab. Raichu special is not high enough, so yeah, you're gonna be having issues with Marowak.
Yeah, that Mirror Coat is just... Mirror Coat encounters some of the worst moves to run into.
Now Trikkums on the other side, critting the Celebi with Arrow Blast. And again, they're on the same fight, and he's Arrow Blasting away Rival. Now let's see how he deals with the Marowak. He crits again. That Tauros is out for blood.
Crits with the headbutt too.
Oh
goodness.
wow! that Tauros is heard what I said, and he's like, "What did you say? I'm not a good main. Well, let me prove you wrong." Now, unfortunately, I don't have the sound on. Did you hear the Romus?
The sound was the sound is currently on Trikkums' side of the race, so...
I see, I see.
And I don't particularly know roamers very well either, so... At least Pokemon cries in general.
Ah, I gotcha, I gotcha. Now, speaking of Romus, Atuna trying to go for it.
Finds one. It's a level 40 Elekid with Blizzard.
I would main switch to that, actually.
And it gets the freeze.
I would definitely main switch to that. Not only will you get your second baby, it will evolve in one more level. It has Blizzard, you can teach it Surf, and Elekid is one of those babies that actually has decent stats.
Yeah, most babies evolve by happiness. However, Elekid, Smoochum, and Magby actually evolve at level 30.
Including Tyroke. Tyroke is a baby that evolves at level 20.
True.
But the other babies do, in fact, evolve with happiness. Or as we like to call it, haircut.
Looks like it also has Double Edge. Might actually wipe to it. Although the card spoiling to us that he does in fact catch it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We can see the future.
Indeed.
So that does actually give Trikkums a slight progression lead now, being the first to enter Morty's gym, but having a potential level 40 main, pretty strong.
Oh, definitely. A level 40 Electabuzz with, again, Surf, Blizzard, it has Double Edge, and he can teach it Megahorn.
But yeah, Megahorn, yeah. Now, Water Ice is notoriously bad coverage, but being level 40 and giving it Megahorn, it can get the job done.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And since you're level 40, you'll overpower most things anyway. Even if you're a baby.
And if we're really desperate, we do have a Vine Whip TM.
And he is gonna main switch to it, which I like that play a lot. Oh, did he forget to put it in front?
I think he did. Maybe he just wants it as a backup.
I don't like that play at all. If he wants it for a backup.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Like, this is your prime example. A almost 6-7 levels higher Raichu against an Eevee, and it can't even one-shot with a Stab Spark. It goes to show Raichu is such a mediocre Pokemon.
Now, we do actually get Flaffy Skiploom info here, so our runners do actually have all the info they need for a path now.
They can totally finish right now. That path would be a bit easier if other goals would exist. Like, for example, Fortress Octillery or Dunsparce Giraffe Wobbuffet, Cubone Diglett. But with this, you can definitely make something out of it.
Yeah, and the beauty of doing multiple lines like this, you can work on the ones that you know for certain you're going to do, such as row 5, and then maybe while you're doing them, you might find information that can switch around what other lines you do.
Indeed, indeed. What I like about this format, where you play alone without people yapping in your ear, is you can speak out loudly for yourself what your path will be. Which, where if you're doing a group bingo with a lot of people in a call, everybody yapping, 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 it's a bit harder to concentrate. So yeah, it should be for an experienced player of Atuna. It should be. He should have realized his path by now. But I'm really not liking the play he's doing, not switching to the delicate. I'm sorry to say, it might cost him the race.
I mean, I think Atuna is a little bit rusty at the moment. I haven't seen Atuna do a lot of bingos lately.
Oh,
Maybe
he has been doing a bingo not even a few days ago, where even where he was hugely behind, he managed to win against some pretty good people, including who was in there. Horse was in there. Help was in that race, and those are the very fast people. So I'm not sure what's going on through his head. I'm definitely gonna ask him, and I'm actually a bit upset by his play. Why is he doing it?
then again, tournament nerves could also be a factor. But
He
anything can go.
He didn't seem nervous to me before the match. He was vibing. He was listening music. So
Regardless, there's a Meg Cargo on screen.
yeah, that's the good old Shrek Cargo. And,
Mascot of many, main of
mascot?
none.
And he does decide to drown it, so he's probably gonna get flamed by that by some people. And Trikkums being the first to reach Olivine at the 1 hour limit. It's not your fastest of times. You normally want to try and get Fly at this point, so he's a little bit behind schedule. But then again, he had a bit of a rough time. He had a couple of optionals. He decided to main shoot to a Tauros. He decided to fish at certain spots, so it's not that rare of an idea that he only just here.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where you can spend like 30 or 20 seconds, and it will add up a lot.
It'll definitely do that, yeah. And Atuni also finishing Morty right now and following Trickum's path.
Trikkums picking up strength, going to be very useful for that Tauros.
True, and you need to pick it up because you need to use strength in Chuck's gym, else yeah, those boulders won't move.
Now, if we want to emulate a competitive moveset, we could give that Tauros Curse.
You could do that, couldn't you?
So on these water routes, sometimes you might choose to use Repel. Sometimes you might want to get a meme encounter. It's not the most uncommon place to get an encounter, but I think nowadays most people are trending to Repel the entire way.
Oh, definitely. It all depends. Like, I know some people like to sweet send on each of the water routes. If they don't have info, just check one encounter. Plus, if they get something, it's a hard place to metagame because each of the water slots has 3 slots. There are 3 water routes: Olivine and the route to the left of Olivine, Route 40, and then 41. And yeah, good luck finding it out where they got it.
Yeah, it could be a 10% on any of the routes. It's basically impossible to know which of the 3.
Indeed, and you can waste a lot of time getting it. So let's see what Shucky is. He's picking the berry, checking the moves. Are we gonna see what poke it is? And it's a Snubble, a mill Snubble. Little shout out to what I said earlier. Snubble has a 12.5% chance of being a mill, and 87% of being a female. And he got a mill Snubble there. So yeah, let's go Trikkums.
Atuna also arriving on Cyanwood Island. Nobody ever calls it Cyanwood Island.
It is mostly known as Cyanwood City, is it not?
It is. We do see Hypnosis on the Shucky, however, though, so if there is ever doubt on if Atuna has a sleep move, well, that puts that
Now we know. Now we know indeed. Also, I want to point out to Atuna, I'm not sure why he's been healing so much at Pokemon centers. while he has all the healing items and elixirs in his bag.
Yeah, that is something you definitely want to be conscious of. Is staggering your heals with just staggering your heals with optimal spots. So normally you get your first heal at Mr. Pokemon, you get a heal after the first trainer. Usually you would heal before Falconer's Gym, and then you would heal immediately afterwards. You get a fixed heal after you do the well, and then there's PC healing after around Goldenrod. But after that, there's not a lot of good spots to heal. So you want to really have ethers and potions and the like.
Indeed, indeed. And once again, while Trikkums was a bit of a lead, Atuna takes over. Just by a couple of seconds, they're on the exact same fight right now. So yeah, let's see who gets to Chuck first. Will it be the Raichu or will it be the Tauros?
The Tauros has actually caught up decently well with levels.
Indeed, you can still see it's almost 2 full levels behind the Raichu, but that's because this game has black and white experience curve. For those who do not know what I'm talking about, in Pokemon Black and White they introduce a system where if your Pokemon is lower leveled than your opponent's Pokemon, you'll get more XP, where if it's higher leveled it will get less XP. And the Tauros is benefiting from that right now because almost everything is around its level or a little bit above it, so it'll get a little bit more XP so it can catch up. And Atuna's Raichu actually did wipe, and he's probably gonna wipe as well now. Did he know? Oh, there's the 40 Elekid. Never mind, the 40 Elekid is gonna sweep. Uh-huh. It should have been his main Pokemon. It would have been an Electabuzz by now. And we can see here the Sacred Ash play. All of his Pokemon were healed.
Maybe he didn't realize that if he evolves it, he wouldn't. Since some newer runners are uncertain if you, for instance, if you evolve a baby Pokemon, do you still get to keep it? If you release a Pokemon, that sort of thing. But as long as it's registered in the Pokedex, it counts, regardless of what happens to it.
It does count, yeah. He's not running Elekid, and that's the reason, Hulk. If he would have run the Elekid, it would have been a better main than this Raichu. Like I said, it is worse. He should have definitely main switched to the level 40 Elekid. It's he's doing a play, maybe, I don't know.
Now I will just mention briefly to everyone trying our bot commands in the chat. Apologies, but there appear to be a bit of trouble. The bot's having a bit of a nap, but the tech crew behind the scenes are working on that. So.
Yeah, they're dealing with it. So yeah, let's say stay tuned. Our apologies once again. And the Tauros takes the lead, getting a Storm Badge and 1 hour and 7 minutes. Again, it is not the fastest of Chuck time. You want to get beneath that hour point, but it's definitely not bad for Trikkums as one of the newer players of the community. And then the Atuna are getting it at slightly later, and I doubt he'll be happy with that time. It's for Atuna's playstyle and what he's capable of, he should have done better.
But since the bot is out of commission at the moment, I might as well point out that yeah, feel free to follow our runners, Trikkums at trikkums.twitch.tv and Atuna at I believe Atuna's Twitch is the 14th Magpie, so you can follow them there. Also follow myself at Cavan856.
It's the 14th Pi only.
Or Pi, sorry.
Yes, yes.
Adding extra syllables. And of course Lord Bakura at Lord Bakura.
I'm a simple human being. What can I say?
And
then of course follow Kevin himself as well. He does these races, plus some Mario speedrun, some hacked Mario games. So if you're into that, you can definitely follow him as well.
And of course we have to shout out our restreamer SpeedGaming, which if you're hearing this, then you already know who they are.
Yeah, you're already familiar with them. Now, Atuna doing the super nerd in Mount Mortar. Well, is that on the? It is on the card. I just noticed it. We're a bit behind off screen, and Trickums getting the slowpoke tail.
Now, this is actually the first time our runners have known precisely where the other is since basically the start, since contest, I suppose. And
Yes,
since marked radio card.
I think again I don't know Trickums well enough, but I think Atuna knows now that Trickums also should have fly by this point. So yeah, it'll give him a little bit of incentive to hurry it up a bit and get his game on, because in all honesty, if he keeps playing like he has been playing by now, it's gonna be tough for him.
Yeah, but you can also deduce that since Slowpoke Tail was marked and nothing else prior was marked, it's likely that Trickums rushed Slowpoke Tail, so he also just picked up Fly very recently.
I don't hate the play that he doesn't do Super Nerd yet. He might go for the Nidoran again and try to evolve it while doing the Super Nerd. But it's gonna waste a bit of time where he should have caught it while he had the chance.
Personally, what I like to do after picking up Fly is immediately dex info and do the shiny stuff later. But yeah, there's a lot of ways you can route.
There's a lot of ways you can route. I'm the opposite. I like to get the static goals first, get your shiny, get Billspoke, check game corners, because if any of those Pokemon are on the card and you go off wasting your time looking for a poke in the wild, then yeah, it's a waste of your time. So, but to each their own, have their strategy, of course.
Now, it does look like Trickums has been actively fighting Pokemaniacs, so that is.
I don't necessarily hate that play. He has the skip plume info, but he will be committed in doing Runes of Elf, which will be interesting to see him do that.
Unless, of course, we get info on Dunsparce Strafford. I mean, we have seen a Wobbuffet and Cubone Diglett.
We have seen a Wobbuffet, indeed. So it might be a bit... No, I think Runes of Elf is a better path for him with 5 Pokeballs, the Nidoking, Nidoqueen.
Yeah, perhaps, because you can...
Because with the Dunsparce Giraffe Wobbuffet, we don't have Fortress Octillery. I don't remember seeing a Cubone Diglett. I might be...
I believe we've not seen Cubone Diglett.
Yeah, so it'll only give you 1 bingo, where the Runes of Elf will definitely give you 2.
Anyway, what do you think about this shiny Fearow? Looks a bit,
it is sick. It is sick. It has to be put down before it spreads its Fearowy diseases.
So having the extra poke info, despite having info on Trickums knowing where the Pokeballs are, having to actually go out and physically catch them can surprisingly add a lot of minutes.
It can, and this is why, again, myself likes to check those static encounters first. You can even go out of your way if you like to meme it up, to go to Rocket Hideout, where there are 3 trap Pokemon and 3 Electrodes there, and they will always be randomized. Even if they're unavailable in Johto, they could still be in there. But on this point, I wouldn't do it. The path is clear to both of our races, and I would just turn on my boost and blitz to the end.
Yeah. Another minor reason I'm just realizing, to run the Elekid is it's a Pokemon to evolve, or for Evolve 4.
This is why I really don't like what Atuna is doing. Why would you stick with this mediocre Raichu? Is it for a meme? Is it for another reason? Does he actually think Elekid evolves with friendship? These are all questions that we should ask him when the race is done.
Yeah, that is actually possible. I've heard of other people not realize that Elekid evolves at level 30. We do see Atuna mirroring what Trickums was doing earlier with fighting the Pokemaniacs, so sounds like Atuna's also interested in Column 4.
Yeah, like I said, Atuna has experienced enough that he should recognize his path. But even with that, I think this bingo is still going to be lasting 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah. Interestingly, actually, we see the trade Pokemon is actually for a Flappy Skiploom.
That saves him a lot of time. I like the play. You already have a Bellsprout. And if you're going to get the XP share, you might as well check it. And it pays off for him right now. Sadly, it does give away where it is. So Atuna should also go grab it because he did mark it at the same time.
Yeah. However, yeah, normally trades are really long. And trading, if it wasn't on the card, I would definitely not trade right now because although it gets you a goal, you're not actually going to use the goal. So there's no point in using and actually trading.
Again, the Flappy Skiploom, it might be a goal that he is gonna use if he's going for Runes of
Oh
Health.
yeah. I expect Flappy Skiploom to be used at this point.
But again, the goal would have held more value if he has Ditto Smurgle info.
Hey, yeah, it's your favorite boy.
Let's see what he does to the best Pokemon around. So Dad meets son, and
Hey, it's Surfing Pikachu. Or at least
well,
Surfing a Pikachu.
well, he's Atuna no longer exists to me.
Atuna actually wants to catch it to evolve it, looks like.
Oh, that's even a bigger sin. Don't do that. That's even a bigger sin.
Now, a play I really do like that Atuna has done is Atuna's kept Nightshade, so that will help with catching Pokemon a decent bit. Assuming they have at least 30 HP.
Now, if Atuna is a true man of taste, he'll teach it Surf, and he'll at least show off the Surfing Pikachu that not many people know actually existed.
Yeah, I myself was not aware that this game had a Surfing Pikachu sprite.
It is very amusing when I started joining the community almost 2 years ago. I knew it was a thing because of my childhood, and almost all these experienced runners that has been in the community for more years than me never knew it was a thing, and that was so amusing to me.
Well, it looks like the rest of the Pokemon aren't too useful from the Rocket Hideout.
It's not. I do like the play. He did get an evolve poke out of it. But other than that, yeah, he's basically doing what I'm saying, checking static encounters. He might go after Bill's poke now in Game Corner, but we'll see. And
He's
Trikkums there.
depositing Elekid. He has a rare candy too at this point. So at this point, he must not realize that he can evolve the Elekid.
Yeah, he must not. Trikkums here looking for that Executor, and he did find the Grimer. Though he is a little bit low on balls. He only has 11 Pokeballs. So he definitely needs to get more balls.
Yeah, does however have 4 Stone Evolutions without the Elekid, so we'll still be fine for that goal.
I would still rare candy the Elekid and let the Pikachu live his own life. But of course, biased opinion.
Well, actually, Tuna's going for Rival 4 at the moment. Maybe one of those was actually not a Stone Evolution.
I'm not sure if he's going for Rival 4. It's much quicker to go to Rival 4 through the basement of the Mart. It'll skip you the 4 Pokemon fight that's in front of the
Are you able to do that, actually?
shop. Yeah. What you can do, you just go to the basement, B1 in the Mart. You just go to where normally the director is, but in case of going there, you just go to where Rival is and hit the button on the door.
Yeah, that would save quite a bit of time. I was under the impression that it opened up after beating Rival 4, but...
No. It opens up after you get the shiny. It only opens up after Rival 4 for the full items and the key item randos.
Yeah, with the full item rando and also with key item rando, they all have slightly different rules about progression and logic.
Indeed.
And such, so it's,
Indeed.
can be a bit confusing going between the 3, having to memorize 3 different sets.
Indeed. And he is actually going to... does he not have escape ropes? He's walking out. He's going to check the game corner, as I was predicting. And basically we see here now where It was so unfortunate for Trikkums to one-shot that Executor earlier on, because it looks like it's the rare. And he's spending a good amount of minutes looking for it now.
Very unfortunate. Now, we do see in the game corner 2 stone evolutions, or... Yeah, 2 easy evolves with the Poliwhirl and the Clefairy, but
He already has it covered. Now, if you don't mind me, there's probably going to be some very disturbing footage for myself, where he's going to evolve a certain poke, so I'll be stepping out for a couple minutes, if you don't mind.
well, I'll just pick up the interim. So
All right.
we see the Executor on Trickum's side. It's gonna be catching that, and yeah, it's pretty close. Now we did see that Atuna originally had the Pokemon count lead, but Trikkums has caught up with that and a bit surpassed. However, the babies could still be a problem, and he does have to go out of his way for the Super Nerd. And a lot of the goals that Trikkums has are actually pretty quick and easy goals, such as the Radio Card and the Pokeballs. So, this is astonishingly close. When I predicted a close match at the start of this, I did not expect it to be this close. So, Tuna evolving Vulpix into Ninetales, that's 1. We're going to see Waterstone on Poliwhirl, that'll be 2. Wobbuffet exists on 36, so it's obtainable. Next, Tuna is going to evolve Weeping Bell into Victory Bell. Wait for it, Bakra. And lastly, Bakra's favorite Pokemon evolving into nothing, apparently. I'm not sure why Tuna hesitated there. Perhaps to make sure that we were watching, but yes, now Atuna has a second Raichu to main switch to. But jokes aside, Trikkums finding a Lediba, something we haven't really talked much about is 6 different flying types. That is in fact on the card. Not in a particularly great spot, however, it doesn't hurt. I guess it doesn't hurt to catch a flying type if you see it, although, honestly, in this position, I would ignore flying types, just because we have so many other options for paths.
Alright, I have returned. What did I miss?
Welcome back. Atuna has evolved 4 Pokes, is going to rival 4 via the back method that you mentioned earlier. And
yeah.
Trikkums found a Ledian. Sorry, a
Oh,
Ledian.
that's a flying type. Nice.
Yeah. Flying type, which is also a potential for an evolve. Lediba evolves at, what, level 16, I think?
Yes, Lediba evolves at level 16.
So that would be a second flying type, too. Well, speaking of Lediba, that's what Rival has decided to lead. Atuna setting up with X specials. Normally, you usually don't see that, but Atuna really wants to make sure this Raichu doesn't have any troubles.
I can blame him for that. He has been witnessing how mediocre Raichu is, so...
Instead of a few X specials, then just click Surf and you're done. Trikkums finding the Nidoqueen. I think he was looking for the Wobbuffet. It looks like they both might be on the same route, so that'll be most of the Pokemon goals done for Trikkums. He just needs to do some cleanup.
Yeah, it's a really nice find. Looking for a poke and finding another poke that you also need. It's a really nice thing to find. Now, unfortunately, the Toro's getting burned here, having its attack. So, yeah, he has to switch out and heal that up.
Now, coming into this, Atuna was definitely a bit of the favorite to win this match, but it is really close. So we could see the Trikkums win this and cause a bit of an upset. I said it was going to be close, but yeah,
it is really close. And in all honesty, I blame Atuna for that. Trikkums has been playing very well for his doing. And Atuna has dropped the ball with a few curious plays, if I do say so myself. Like for example, he didn't catch the pseudo Wudo, although it was a trade poke.
Oh, he didn't? Wow.
No, he didn't.
Well, we do see Atuna actually has Ho-Oh info. I must have blinked when we saw that. However, how do you feel about catching Ho-Oh in Tin Tower?
Wait, what kind of rando?
Now, it was actually also an ice path. Now, in previous iterations of Cinco Bingo, we used to call those meme path, meme tower, meme islands for rural islands. Because if it was in there, it's basically as good as uncatchable. However, we've since added a feature to the ROM called Dex Area Beep. So you can check the Dex on each floor, and it will actually play a beeping sound if you are on the floor in a certain area where you can find that Pokemon. So it actually makes catching Pokemon in places such as Burn Tower and Ice Path completely viable.
It does, it does. It makes the game a whole lot more bingo friendly and easier. That's for sure. Because normally you won't go to those places to look for those pokes, unless you are absolutely desperate.
Trikkums putting in more work on the Pokemaniacs. Tuna trying to find some of the Pokemon that Trikkums has found.
And this, unfortunately, is one of those one of those things really good, well planned out. By the way, not unfortunate, fortunate, where he does the maniacs and he's going immediately for the Wounds of Elf puzzles, and he's gonna hit the optional here. Yeah, I saw it coming. This is one of those little tricky areas where if you've not been here before, you don't know where you have to stand with your character, and you're going to be hitting those optionals.
Yeah, fortunately, that's the only real... I suppose there is a spinner, but you can see the spinner before you bump into him.
And he does see him, and he's very careful with him.
Atuna having a bit of trouble catching that Nidoqueen, but popped in the ball eventually, so...
yeah, the Nidoqueen was being a little bit difficult, but he found it. He's got it.
It looks like our runners are are pretty much vying for the same paths at this point. Now, it's hard to say, because we do have... I think it's possible that we might not see Ho-Oh Lugia, but we will instead see the other diagonal.
Yeah, we could very well see where they do Maniacs and Dunsparce Giraffaric. Because it looks like neither of our players are aiming for black glasses. Although if Atuna wants, he can go catch the Grimer, which was in 29, and go for black glasses, giving him another quick bingo if he repels through Ice Path.
Tuna actually has some really good potential synergy, because the Ho-Oh was an Ice Path, so you can catch the Ho-Oh, get the black glasses, and skip Pokemaniacs entirely.
Indeed, indeed.
Although I suppose Pokemaniacs also gives you column 4, so they would need to do it anyway. See, actually, Pokemaniacs is required.
It looks like they do need it to finish. It's worth 2 bingos at the moment, since we do not have Cubone Diglett info.
Trikkums having a bit of trouble with the puzzles. The pieces he currently are missing, he just needs to swap the bottom 2 middle with the middle 2 middle.
Yeah, this is one of those rookie mistakes where me myself always have the puzzles open. I can do them without it, but doing them fast, that's still something where you have to do the puzzles over and over and over and over to get good at. And yeah, it actually hurts my soul a little bit that he's having so much difficulty with it.
Yeah, it's a bit rough because like there could be like half a dozen configurations those 4 pieces could be in, depending on which 2 are on which side and which 2 are at the upper. You really only get feedback on which 2 are beside each other, but not on which side.
I'm cringing so much. Like I just want to move over to him and do it and show it how it's done.
Fortunately, the Ho-Oh is usually considered the hardest of the puzzles.
Almanite wants to have a word with you.
Trikkums does fortunately have an escape rope. Technically, you only need one, and it's to prevent having to backtrack through Union Cave. Ideally, you would want 3 or 4, but it is doable, just a bit slower with only one. I'm actually quite curious as to what our runners' paths are going to be. Atuna is obviously going to be going for column 1, going to be going for probably row 4, column 4, TLDR. So it looks like actually we might actually see Hoolugia being skipped for both our runners. No TLBR. Yeah. Trikkums starting the Ammonite puzzle. If you don't have a lot of experience, it definitely can be a bit tricky. But yeah, this is definitely just the sort of thing you just have to memorize and know what it roughly looks like.
Exactly. The thing with the Ammonite puzzle, as you can see, there's so many little tentacle things and squares that look the same, and it gets you off guard real easily.
We actually see a mistake from... Okay, yeah, Atuna just swapped the top 2 pieces. I was thinking to myself, wait, no, hold up. The bottom 4 are correct.
Now, you don't see people swapping the top 2 pieces that often, so...
What you can usually help is start with the corners for most of the puzzles and then try and work from there. Omnite puzzle especially, the corners are... At least 3 of the corners are fairly well defined. And then you can kind of work on the shell from there, but there's a lot of pieces that, a lot of small pieces that can be pretty ambiguous on where they go.
Yeah, and you can see Trikkums. He's having a lot of difficulty with it. This is basically how a casual player that plays the game for the first time is figuring out the puzzle and what it looks like to me. Where by the side of Atuna, he knows what he's doing. He's placing the pieces like it's his everyday job. And they do finish the Ammonite puzzle at the... Oh, nope, he's not finished. He did swap a little thing.
Yeah, it looks like... Yeah, it looks like the middle bottom 2 are swapped.
They are.
Unfortunately, it actually kind of looks like they might go together in that configuration, at least one of them.
It does. He needs to... The one to the right of his eye needs to be moved one more spot to the right, and that one he's hovering over right now
Okay,
needs to...
he found it.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Making quick work of the much easier Aerodactyl.
And in all honesty, with that being said, I do think it's still a very close race. Trikkums has the Coffin Grammar Zubat and the Fluffy Skiploom and the Trade Poke, where Atuna has the Evolve Poke and Rival 4 in his bag, and the Super Nerd. Now both of all 3 of those goals can be done fairly quickly if he does it efficient.
The big thing could be the Fluffy Skiploom, because I don't remember if Atuna checked where Fluffy Skiploom is. It's possible that it's not reasonable.
He decks the Bellsprout. He should know that the Bellsprout trade is for it.
The infamous Ammonite, which the bottom 2 look very similar, but...
They look, yeah. And there we go. Lord Dome be praised.
what will Atuna do next? Looks like he's going to grab a few more poke goals that he had info for.
I mean, if you look at his path, he should really go for the Coffin Grimer Zubat, that'll give him a bingo, and then go for the Black Glasses, that will also give him a bingo. The radio card will give him a bingo, which will be resulting in 3.
Then it's just the Wobbuffet, the Flappy, and the rest of the Pokemaniacs, which Atuna should not have a lot of Pokemaniacs left.
He shouldn't have. He already did the bunch that were on Lake of Rage, and he did the ones in the basement. So, and if he, I didn't look at it, but if he
The
did,
ones in Union Cave also. I think he just has one Maniac left.
So he found the Grimer immediately. And I think, in all honesty, I think this match is in the bag for Atuna.
Yeah, it's definitely looking to be a lot more Atuna's game now. Trikkums lost quite a bit of time on Alf puzzles.
I'd say it's a bit undeserved. Trikkums played very well for his own doing, and I think Atuna made a lot of misplays.
Yeah, but I mean, Trikkums definitely is the less experienced runner, and
indeed,
sometimes you just need to do a lot of regular bingos, just win some, lose some, in order to shave the time down, learn the optimizations.
Indeed. Maybe it's a bit of the underdog position Trikkums is in, but yeah, I thought he would have deserved victory more than Atuna at this point, because Atuna made such questionable decisions.
But of course, anything is possible.
True.
If Trikkums happens to find black glasses on the ground, maybe that's what Trikkums is looking for. Maybe Trikkums doesn't know where to get static black glasses, or doesn't know how to do a dark cave in the dark.
Maybe. Now, for all that we know, Atuna might get walled for 10 minutes looking for the fluffy Skiploom. Or for the Wobbuffet, it has happened before in bingos where people would get walled for a good amount of time.
Yeah, the Wobbuffet's not in a particularly egregious position, but...
Oh, the Wobbuffet is in an excellent position.
But even if you can't find the Flaffy Skiploom, there is always the option of getting the Ho-Oh.
Indeed, but Fluffy or the Skiploom being on Route 32, it is a very, very safe safe play to do. Although again, if I would be Atuna, get your black glasses and get the Ho-Oh Lugia. But again, you can also go for the Wobbuffet and Maniacs. It's either or.
Trikkums getting the finding a wild Ledian, and also seems to be picking up every single item looking for black glasses. Now the thing is, catching what's your opinion on catching stuff like this Ledian?
On this point, I don't agree with it. I get that you want to get the flying types in case you luck into Fortress Auxiliary, but your path should have been so clear at this point. You know that row 3 and column 2 is not going to be on row 2 and column 3 is not going to be on your path, and that flying type goal is not worth much.
Yeah, it's just 6 extra Pokemon you have to catch. So we know how long catching one Pokemon can be, but... Oh, right! So, there's the big problem of switching to the Tauros, actually.
Yep.
It completely slipped my mind at the moment, but yeah, you're, does not have enough happiness. You need at least 200 happiness, I believe, to get the,
Maybe this was the reason that Atuna didn't main switch off of the right.
Yeah, that's actually almost certainly the reason. I think you're completely right. It seems to have slipped both of our minds. Because Sunday TM is usually something, it's very, very easy to take that goal for granted.
Oh, it's definitely free, and even if you don't want to, you can still main switch and get the herbs from the basement, because you can go the other way around, that you make your Pokemon absolutely hate you and feed it all the herbs.
True, although that is a bit expensive.
It is expensive, but it's easy to do. You can easily catch your Pokemon in Ice Path. and then let it die or let it weaken, and then buy the energy powder and give it a bunch of that. Buy revival herbs, etc., etc.
Well,
Right now.
Atuna's found the Flappy Skiploom, so at this point, all Atuna needs... oh, he's traded for the Flappy Skiploom, so...
Yeah, he's. I don't hate that decision, but
So yeah, all he needs is black glasses and defeat one more Pokemaniac, which, if
and then
I
he's done.
understand Atuna's route, will be the Pokemaniac beside Ice Path.
It should be. Yeah, I think he skipped the Maniac in Mount Mortar, but I'm not sure. I haven't been counting the amount of Maniacs he has been doing.
Fortunately, in our newest rendition of the Speed Choice ROM, Pokemaniacs are in fact counted on the pause menu.
They are. They are.
Sorry, not pause menu. The done menu. Trikkums taking the long way to Rival 4, but I don't blame him. I myself would have taken that way earlier today if I hadn't known.
Yeah, it's if you know it, it saves you time, and if don't, you lose at most 30 seconds.
Atuna's actually going back for the Maniac.
He must not realize it's next to Ice Path.
And I think it's actually a bit faster, because I think the one by Ice Path only has one Pokemon.
He does. The one by Ice Path only has one Pokemon.
I don't know what Trikkums' of evolution progress is, but it's not impossible for him to theoretically take this. He would basically have to find a random black glasses, but if he does, it's possible for Trikkums to still win this. You would need the Wobbuffet, but...
Or the Ditto Smurgle will also help him.
Yeah, Ditto Smeargle might be what he needs. Ditto Smeargle, the Wobbuffet, black glasses, or Column 1. He needs 3 of those 4 to show up really fast. Now, Atuna's actually fighting several optionals. Atuna chose to fought the 11th Pokemaniac, and has run into this Bird Keeper as well, so gives Trikkums some time to catch up.
It does, yeah. I'm rooting for him. I hope he lucks into it, but I've a faint heart in it. I don't think he's gonna pull it off. Now, on Atuna's screen, one of my least favorite pokes to find, a Hypno. It's tanky, and it's one of those Pokemon that will always has something to annoy me. What are the Pokemon that you face that often walls you or annoys you?
Well, one of my least favorite Pokemon, just conceptually wise, is Mr. Mime. But as for Pokemon that I just find annoying to face, I mean, we have to talk about those bulky water types.
Oh yeah, bulky water types are definitely up there. The Lantern being the absolute #1 for me.
Yeah. And then there's the infamous Skarmory Ball, which, unless you've got a good special... It can wall basically any physical moveset, even if you can hit it neutrally. It'll always take several hits.
Now, Kevin, I might be wrong about this, but there was a time where you had a nickname Blissey Wall. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so Blissey, as many of us know, has basically maxed out special defense and HP stats. So if you have an exclusively special moveset, you can be basically walled by Blissey, especially if it has some form of a recovery move.
Oh no.
That's why pretty much any Pokemon, even a special one, I almost always recommend that you teach it strength or keep some sort of physical move, just so you can take care of Blissies.
Indeed, even a Psychic Mewtwo with a Twisted Spoon would have a lot of issue with Blissey. Now, one of more of those Pokemon that are very bulky and annoying, Lugia being one of them. Like I said, Lantern being one of them.
Now, Tuna's just a stone's throw away from picking up the black glasses.
Yeah, he
as
just
long
needs
as,
to travel through the dark. Yep, and he's gonna be done soon. Now Trikkums fighting another optional, unfortunately.
He did get the Wobbuffet, however. Maybe he's looking for Ditto Smeargle info desperately.
At this point, I don't blame him. It's the only way he could pull this off.
Yeah. Trikkums has made it out of the water, made it onto the ground of some sort.
And Atuna is having a bit of difficulty in the dark here.
I hope he didn't. It's possible he's on the lower part of the ground. He just jumped off a ledge. He went back to where he went near the TM, I think.
Oh no, he's even behind that. Does he have an escape rope? He does not. Oh, he has to go all the way out of dark
If I were
cave now.
Tuna, I would pick up a map. Like just Google a map, try and figure out where I am.
I think he's doing that right now. This could be the give or break for Trikkums. He needs to find that Ditto Smeargle.
Yeah, this is a pretty significant blunder. Okay, it looks like he looked at the map. He knows where he is. Now he should be near the rock, smash rock.
Yeah, he's back on the violet side now.
Yeah, there's a few. Normally in full item rando, you have to do a lot more. Actually, I think he's behind the rock, smash rock.
No, yeah, he's behind it now.
But yeah, normally there's a.
There we go, we made it out. The colors Ginger Chris, the green one is Atuna, and the brown one is Trikkums. And Atuna is only black glasses away from winning the race.
So yeah, normally there's a few places that are dark, such as Rock Tunnel and Dark Cave and Meme Islands, but I would definitely say that learning both halves of Dark Cave is the most important dark movement to learn.
Oh, it is so valuable, especially for a Cinco Bingo. It'll save you a lot of time.
Regardless, he sees the trainer.
Yep, he sees the guy. He sees the black glasses. Oh! There he goes. He got it.
He picks them up, and Atuna finishes with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 27 seconds. GG, Atuna.
Well done, Atuna. Well done. Now we are going to ask Atuna if he's in for an interview, and then drag him in. And let's see if Trikkums is gonna finish this or not. It looks like he's still going, so chapeau on that. It looks like Atuna is willing to interview. What do you say we get him in?
Yeah.
Hello, Atuna. Hi. So congrats on the win, first of all.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, come again. You're cutting out a bit different.
Am I?
Yeah, you're fine now, but
quiet,
yeah. But again, congrats on it. What do you think of the race? How did it go for you?
This race sucked. Raichu sucks. This card sucked. The ROM was fine, I guess.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of info. So
yeah,
what I'm curious.
Info is friendly.
Yeah. So how certain of you were you of your path early on?
Earlier than you might think. Let me take a look.
Yeah, well,
there was a point where I got a specific goal, and I was like, I know my path now. What was it? It was
Was it the second baby info?
maybe. It could have been. That was probably it, honestly.
We were
I-
theorizing about
I
basically this exact
figured it
path.
would exist, but the Ella Kid was a nice bonus.
Yeah, we were actually wondering. Speaking of the Elekid, we were talking for a little bit about why you didn't main switch and just evolve it.
I didn't trust that the Raichu was friendly enough for a turn.
Yeah. We didn't actually realize that for a while, but then we remembered because actually Trikkums had an issue where he main switched to a Tauros from the contest. He was unable to get the Sunday TM.
Rough. That is a tricky line to walk when you're thinking about main switching that late, especially when your first main was good enough to get you that far. Like, that's the only reason I didn't like the Raichu was good enough. It wasn't good by any stretch, but it got the job done. It didn't need to be that good. It just needed to get me a TM later in the game.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to consider that when you're making these decisions.
Yeah, that is a fair decision to make. I do have a question though, because you did catch a really good Venusaur early on, with Slash, Aurora Beam, I believe Sacred Fire. Why
I do
did
not
you?
like Venusaur.
That's the
Personal
reason
preference.
why.
Fair enough. Trikkums has picked up the black glasses, so Trikkums is at 4 bingos. Justin
Fog.
needs to figure out what his last is going to be.
Yeah, he needs either Cubone Diglett, Ditto Smeargle, or he needs to evolve 4 Pokes and get Ho-Oh Lugia, or the TM21 or 27.
Did he get the Ho-Oh info? Because it was... I mean, with Dex Area Beat, Ice Path's not that bad.
Yeah, and we can the static 60 at Tin Tower is
That's
always an
also-
option.
That's always an option, too. I didn't consider that.
I don't remember actually. I seem to recall it was Ho-Oh info was actually early on.
It was on the Bug Catcher on 31.
Yeah, I
Which
think.
is... Yeah, that's
I think
obviously an
both of
optional,
you-
but... Yeah.
Actually, no.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't optional.
I don't think Trikkums fought that. Also, Trikkums looks to have met a similar fate as you, Atuna, lost in Dark Cave.
I
Yeah.
wasn't lost. I knew exactly where I was. I just figured out very quickly I'd gone the wrong way.
That's what we call lost, my guy.
It's so hard to call it lost when you're like, I know exactly where I am. It's just the wrong place. Like the moment I hit the ledge, I was like, fuck.
I'm language.
Yeah, I remember. It was an annoyance not to remember exactly where I was going. I thought I could swag and try and do it first try, but no.
Unfortunate.
We
By the
can't
way,
all pick up the second bike and register it.
yeah, you also did that. Did you forget you have the bike, or was that just a meme play?
I was swagging. I
I
was just
see.
vibing, you know?
I see. By the way, if any of you guys in the chat has a question for Atuna, feel free to ask.
I have a question actually.
Yeah.
So we were actually talking. Both you and Trikkums actually were picking up a significant amount of items throughout the race, long after you normally see people stop picking up items.
I didn't have a particular reason for doing that. I was doing it because it, like, if I keep myself moving, I think faster. And sometimes the only thing that I can do to keep myself moving is pick up the item in front of me.
Muscle memory, yeah.
Like, forgetful. Like, I'll just, like, randomly space out and be like, what am I doing again? Like, I have to, like, look at the card every couple of minutes and be like, I know I have 5 bingos picked out. What were they again? Like, even late in the race, like, I finished Alf, flew off, found Wobbuffet, and was about to go through Ice Path to get Ho-Oh, and I was like, wait, radio card's a bingo. Like, just little things. I just don't remember to do things sometimes, and like, keeping my character moving is one way of, like, making my brain keep thinking.
Yeah, that's a
Fair enough.
valid thing to do indeed.
Now, Trikkums tried a few more things, unfortunately still unable to get the Sunday TM. Now, there are some things that Trikkums could do. Trikkums had a few vitamins, sold them, but he could have fed them instead to the Tauros. It might have helped.
Yeah, he's also checking the.
What did he start with as his main?
Aggie, I found an Entei in Unknown.
Rooms of Elf.
Yeah, Ruins of Elf.
Yeah, he
took him
found
that long,
a.
huh?
Yeah, he found a really good Entei actually. It had Crab Hammer, Psychic. It sketched off his Sludge Bomb from the starter. And what else did it have? It had another, like, he had perfect coverage on it. And he decided to main switch to a level 15 Tauros from bug catching, which had Arrow Blast, Metal Claw, Rolling Kick, and Headbutt.
Decent.
It
Yeah,
is decent, but
it was three
it is.
levels
I don't know.
lower.
It's kind of biting him in the butt now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is certainly questionable. And you can see he's a little bit. This is typical gameplay for, yeah, I don't know what I need to do now. I'm just gonna do stuff.
Yeah, it might actually take Trikkums a bit to finish, actually. He can get Evolve 4, probably, but he might not realize that our ruling on catching the static hoe. Actually, no, he's going into Tin Tower.
He's going to do it, yeah. I think this is.
Master Ball, too.
But
He
does
did,
that
he did.
even like he still needs Evolve 4 after that, right?
He does. But he should have had he has a full picks, that's for sure. I believe he also has a Weeping Bell, so that's 2. And what's surprising to me, he fished up a Nidoran. And he
Did he grab the coin case? Because 2 of the coin case Pokemon were.
Yes,
he did
he did,
actually.
and he just checked it, but he's not. He doesn't have the money for
He
it.
didn't have money for it, but he
Oh
probably
wow, he
went
doesn't
back.
have money too. That's
The
bad.
Poliwhirl was the 100 coin, so that's really cheap.
So speaking about evolution, I was noticing that you already had 4 evolved Poke, but you decided still to catch like the Pikachu because you could have just given the rare candy to the Elekid.
I thought friendship Evos were vanilla, honestly.
No,
Elekid
Elekid is not a friendship Evo.
Yeah, Elekid, Smoochum, and Magby actually evolve at level 30 in vanilla.
No, well, today I learned.
We exactly did say this, that you must not be realizing this. But then, yeah, when I saw you capture that Pikachu, I got a bit discouraged, and I left
Believe
for a
me,
bit.
I would have not changed anything had I known that in retrospect.
Yeah, it looks like you.
I
You
know.
paused
I had
a little
I
bit.
know.
I killed one, walked away, realized it was a Stone Evo, went back, caught it, and I was like, ah, yes, the double whammy.
No, yeah, you did that on purpose, didn't you?
Of course.
You don't exist to me anymore.
I love you too.
Well, Trickham's making through the stages in Tin Tower pretty easily. There's his old main, Entei.
It's gonna. If I were that Entei, I would have feel betrayed, and I would absolutely tear shreds to the Tauros. But it decides to sap its life force with Leech Seed.
But anyway, any more questions, back row? Because I basically am out of questions.
I don't have any questions. I do think that it was a little bit of scuffed gameplay for what I know you can do, Atuna. So
No, that
I
was
was
about
thinking
par for the course. I'm not good. I don't know if you know that.
you are good, but
I also have a fairly. It's not a defective controller, but the D-pad is a little bit on the fritz sometimes.
Yeah, because as it looked to me like you were hitting a couple optionals, you were picking up items. You at some points you stopped playing for a couple of seconds, like in contest where you encountered the Jinx, and I was
I
just
had to
thinking,
pee.
I see.
I had to pee very badly.
I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
It was also a really good meme. Like, oh, there's a Jinx. I guess the race is over.
Immediately forfeits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do see level 40 is a Croconaw. If he catches that,
I
he
didn't
could
know that was a
evolve
Croconaw, actually, yeah.
Trickham's
And
to
and it's
defeat
dead.
it. Maybe he doesn't
Did
have
he
a
pick
rare
up the rare
candy.
candy? It was
I
an
don't
optional
think he
item on
does.
42.
Yeah, he didn't. He killed it.
He's on a mission, I respect it.
Yeah, a huge shout out. Medic also did it earlier today, where one still even finishes this, where the opponent's already finished. I can only respect that play.
Well, at any rate, why don't we place some bets on what the static Ho-Oh is going to be? I'm going to guess it's going to be Hitmonlee.
Ooh.
What are we putting on it?
our deepest pride.
Oh no, my pride's not worth anything.
That's why you
gamble
can.
something a little more substantial.
You know what? I'm going on a whim
It's
here.
a Lugia.
No, you know, I'm going on a whim here. I'm gonna say it's a Caterpie.
Wait, don't you two have the log?
No, we do not.
Oh, never mind. It's a
Indeed.
Lugia.
That would be a great meme, wouldn't it?
Now,
Why was
actually, what
Chuck's
would be
30 a
good meme?
Poliwrath?
Oh, yeah, that.
Now
Another good
it's-
meme. Sorry.
Wait, he just encountered a wild one, right?
Yeah, there
did
is
he?
a wild Ho-Oh in Tin Tower. I was saying, it would be a good meme if he
Why is it-
found...
What is the goal marked?
No. Oh yeah, there he goes. He just marked it.
Yeah,
But
why
he
did he
hasn't-
mark it?
Acquired the Ho-Oh. I know there's a wild Ho-Oh in Tower because I checked the info at one point.
I
but-
think the gameplay is a little bit behind from the bingo card. So I
Yeah,
think
Ah, there it is.
There's
Very
the
good.
static Ho-Oh,
On
literally
the 8th
like
floor of Tin
below.
Tower.
we will never know what the 60 is.
I hope he goes for it anyway, just to make me happy.
Same.
I'll gift him
Same.
5 subs if he does it.
That is incredible. And also that gives a flying type, so now a few more
Yeah, those
outs-
didn't exist. I don't know how he got 6. I had like 2. What is he sweet
Trikkums
scenting
looks
for?
like he's sweet scenting. Looks like
Why?
I think he's going for Fortress Auxiliary or Stone Evolution.
But he has the coin case.
Yeah, he has. I think this is your typical play of somebody that's still a bit inexperienced, where you don't remember what you saw. You don't remember you have the coin case. You can buy some pokes for Stone Evolution.
Oh well.
We'll have to see what Trickums decides. I would definitely say Evolve 4 is, I mean, the only way to finish. But
It would be the fastest way for
It
sure.
would be the fastest way for him, unless he runs into a wild Ditto Smurgle, Cubone Diglett, Fortress Auxiliary.
well, he's just deposited his Vulpix, so
Huh?
What is he? I think he thinks he needs TM return in order to finish, and honestly, if he can get it right now, it's probably faster. But like,
No, because he will still need 4 evolve. The return and
Oh,
frustration TM will not give him a bingo.
right. Sorry, I had Discord over the bingo card. I wasn't looking at it.
That is fine. That is fine.
it doesn't actually look like he has a lot of Pokemon to evolve. He's dexing things. He's got
Oh,
the
yeah,
Letty, the Lettiba, and the Vulpix. He's looking
I mean,
for
this is your case example where he fished up the Nidoran earlier, like at the beginning of the game, and he's not remembering it. I think because get that Nidoran, evolve it, use a Moonstone, and you're done.
Yeah, definitely. You should be looking for Stone Evolutions.
Has he already? He hasn't evolved the other 2 that he needs.
No,
though.
he hasn't.
There was the Shell. I don't know if we actually got Shelder in for.
It
We
was
do.
the
We do have Shelter
starter.
info.
Oh, what was his starter?
He picked the same thing as you, the thing with
He took
Sludge Bomb.
the E-Buzz?
Yes.
Well, then he would have
Okay.
had Marowak. No Shelter
Yeah,
info.
no Shelder. Looks
Oh,
like
don't-
Nidorino and Nidorina are both in Blackthorn water. So
Oh, that's really easy for him then.
Really, they're both there? That's kind of nutty. He already has black classes, right? So he's been there.
yeah, he has. Trickums looks like he's picking up the EXP share to for that Lettiba.
Yeah, it is a bit too late though. He should have done it before doing Rival 4 and before doing the Sages.
I thought his bag was full for a second. I didn't recognize that text box right
It,
away.
it is full.
Oh, that's funny. It sounded like the Mr. Pokemon kept talking about like something else, and I was like, did he get the XP share? I missed that.
Yeah, he was sharing his life story, but he wouldn't have it.
Does he have a flyer?
He boxed his flyer.
Yeah, he boxed it.
Amusing.
I'm not entirely sure why he boxed everything.
Does he not think Stone Evos count?
I'm not sure.
Because he hasn't attempted to, or maybe he doesn't know you can buy stones.
Maybe. I mean, he did look for the two the Nidorino and Nidorina. Those are Stone Evolutions.
What? You should have just taught Fly to something instead of going back for the Entei.
I mean, well, then we'll lose Sweet Scent also. Oh, no, the Entei does not have Sweet Scent.
Yeah, the whatever the third thing in this party was had Sweet Scent.
So, welcome Raiders from SpeedGaming 1, the match between, let me check who the match was between.
It was Paradox and,
Paradox
Medic?
and Pokemon Fan.
Oh, Pokemon Fan, that's right.
So, we hope that was a good race. Now we're looking at the finishing end of Trikkums versus Atuna. Atuna has, in fact, already won. Trikkums is currently going for the last goal needed to finish for him. Of all
And
four
this
Pokemon.
was probably not nearly as good of a race as Paradox's. I would imagine his was way more... I mean, if they're already done with interviews and everything, theirs was probably faster, right? You'd think.
They did start a few minutes before us, but yeah.
True, I forgot. We were late to start.
Now, I do unfortunately have to tell that the next match is pretty soonish. So if he doesn't finish within the hour, we might just have to DNF him.
40 minutes?
Within the hour.
Yeah, so 40 minutes. I think he'll be done by then, hopefully.
Because the next match is between Halls versus Govolta at 8:30 EST.
That'll be a good match, actually.
We are being informed by our friend Halkery, one of the moderators. Apparently, Pokemon Fan won the Paradox Pokefan with a time of 1 hour 55 minutes and 15 seconds.
That is a surprising finish. Paradox being a
quite an upset, actually.
It is. Paradox is a experienced player. Pokefan is one of the newer guys, so that's a surprising result, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm definitely
An
definitely
hour
interested
55, though.
Yeah, I'm very interested in going back and watching the VOD of that one.
Yeah, it might be a similar situation with me and Medic earlier today, where Medic spent almost half an hour finding a main. Maybe similar thing happened to Paradox.
I want to go back and watch this VOD so I can hear the commentary on how bad I was.
Oh, trust me, Atuna. I did what you asked me to do. So.
Good. How scathing was it?
You deserved it, though. You absolutely deserved it.
That's fair. I did deserve it.
I don't remember what Trikkums was looking for. I thought that both the Nidorina was also in the water.
He fished up the Nidoran.
Yeah, what is he looking for here? I don't actually know. I remember I caught something here. No, I didn't. I thought it was here, and then I realized it was on 36. Boba Fett, I believe. What is he looking for?
I'm not sure what's here. Maybe a Stone Evolve poke?
Which...
Maybe he doesn't realize that Nidorino and Nidorina are two separate, count as two separate Pokemon evolutions.
I don't know.
I'd make a joke about evolving Haunter, but...
At this point, it might be faster.
Just trade it away, Keck.
Yeah, Nidorina is also where Nidorino was, in Blackthorn Water.
He is checking here for Nidorina.
I think his logic was that if the common was Nidorino in Blackthorn Water, then Nidorino would have been a higher percent.
It would either be a 30 or a 10, but still
right,
better than looking for a 20.
You would
think
a 10% is still a 10% regardless of how many slots there are.
I think he is confusing Blackthorn Water with the Dragon Cave behind it.
Yeah, could be, but that's also because it's also an ice path. The ice path kind of covers it, but it's also the exact same mark as where Nidorino was.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, if you've played this game casually and you don't know the decks very well, and you see there's a Pokemon in Blackthorn, you would say, oh, it is in the same location, not realizing it's a different location.
What?
Don't tell me he's gonna evolve a Cleffa.
What is he doing?
Oh no.
In all honesty, the most cringiest play I have seen yet in an official race was a guy that deposited two baby Pokemon in the daycare. Which, with all due respect, that's not how it works. They're underaged.
I mean...
Does he think he can evolve it with a Moonstone?
I
hope not.
He's only oh, please buy one more. Please buy one more Moonstone. Don't do this. Why is he selling stuff?
He was out of backspace not long ago.
Okay. But the Moonstone stack, my guy. This is not Gen 1.
That's funny.
Well, he's evolving Nidorino. That's one evolution.
And he should realize now that Cleffa can't evolve with a Moonstone.
I think I must depart, unfortunately. I am being summoned.
That is totally fine. Thank you again for the race and for your comments, Atuna.
Yeah.
Again, congrats on the win.
Yeah, and best of luck with the rest of your group.
I should be facing Paradox tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh well, that should be an interesting match. Well, again, the best of luck with that.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, have a beautiful evening.
I'll try. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Alright, now let's he's finally going to Blackthorn.
Looks like he's going to be trying to evolve the Lediba now.
I mean, this trainer should give enough XP for that.
Oh, more than enough. More than enough!
Is it a oh, I see. Oh, the poor thing getting kicked. It still survived on 1 HP.
And Lediba is trying to learn a lot of moves.
Did he just get 6.7k XP? That's mad. That's absolutely mad. The train is getting revenge for the Blissey being kicked. It's kicking back.
Believe it or not, Apom is the same physical bulk as a Blissey.
You don't say. Do you know what APOM stands for, Kevin?
I don't think it stands for anything, Bakura.
It stands for Pomegranate Artificial Intelligence.
Right, so Trikkums has now evolved Lediba into Ledian, that's 3 Pokemon. And now... Oh, no!
No, don't do it! Oh, no!
I have half a mind to just... tell him.
Oh, we can't. We are not allowed.
I know, but I still want to.
Oh, the poor guy. People leave. Helk, since you are an organizer and an admin of this match, are you willing to let this play out since we have the upcoming match very soon, or? Because at this point, this might just be very, very hurtful to
This
be
could
watching.
take like another 30 minutes.
Longer.
More than actually. It's
Longer.
It's getting almost nothing. It's not participating in battles at all.
Might I remind you that it's XP share, so the Cleffa will not be getting the full-on happiness.
Yeah.
And it took me over an hour and a half by main switching to a level 60 Pichu and doing the whole of Kanto with it, and it still needed 21 haircuts.
Wow. Yeah, it's really rough. 'Cause I think for happiness evolutions you need to max the happiness, right?
It needs to be close to maxed, yes.
Yeah, and once you get over 200, you start gaining happiness a lot slower.
Oh, at this point, I'm hoping and praying he finds Cubone, Diglett, Fortis, Octoly, and Ditto Smeargle.
Same, but I mean, he's also going to run out of Pokemon at some point. I mean, honestly, actually, I think what's far more likely to happen is the Cleffa will get to a high enough level that he'll be like, wait, hold up, why isn't it evolving? And he'll realize that way.
Well, I hope you didn't have any other plans tonight, Kevin, because we'll be here for another hot while.
All I can say is this makes me dislike Tauros even more.
I don't blame you. This makes me dislike Cleffa even more. Hurry up and evolve, you little brat.
Maybe he'll find the Roamer and switch to the Elekid and evolve that.
Why isn't he realizing he could have? Oh. Like, there's so many options he could have done. The game corner pokes, rocket hideout.
Yeah, like the polyroll, it just costs 2,000 coins.
You mean no? The most expensive one is 1,500. Oh, you mean it's the 100 poke?
Yeah, 2,000.
Oh yeah. He has that.
Perhaps he didn't realize that you can buy coins. Maybe he thought he had to gamble them. Surely not.
I mean, he's not underage, right? He's allowed to gamble if he's not underage.
Dex the Clefairy, please. Dex this Clefairy.
It's the thing the Cleffa is gonna evolve into. Save yourself the suffering.
I think you mean it's the thing this Cleffa is not evolving into.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
I think he's checking. He might be checking how Cleffa evolves now. He stopped. He might be googling it.
And then he realizes the grave mistake he's putting into. I swear, if he's going to Golden Rod and give that Cleffa a haircut, I'm losing it. I can already see how to evolve Cleffa. Oh, it's happiness. How to get happiness in Pokemon Crystal. Ah, it's haircut.
Can you give multiple haircuts on the same day?
You cannot. You need to clock reset for it.
Oh no.
Or give vitamins to your poke.
But vitamins also have a cap. Oh, he's taken the EXP share off the Cleffa.
Oh, praise the Lord!
I mean, we can't, like... Back when I started, I was also pretty new to Pokemon. I remember my days of thunderbolting Fampies, thinking it's blue, therefore it's a water type.
I mean, I was like this when I was a kid, because I grew up with Pokemon, and I had a similar issue back when I was 10 years old, where I put the Togepi in the daycare, and I retrieved it, and it was level 40. So I thought, oh, it just needs one level and it evolves. But it didn't evolve, and I was so confused, thinking Togepi can't evolve in the game.
Well, it looks like he's looking for more pokes. The Clefairy didn't seem to do much for him. It doesn't seem that he knows about Dex Area Beep. It is a relatively
I don't
new
think
setting, so definitely can be.
Atuna has returned. What up?
Real quick, I just wanted to know if I could like turn my stream off or not.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
He does seems
like...
a bit frazzled, but I think the most of it, Nichil, is him not knowing the game. At this point, he finds the Nidorino, but he already has that. At this point, your opponent is already finished. There's no more pressure on you. Again, shout out for him wanting to finish, but I think this is just a lack of experience of the game.
Which is unfortunate, but it's inevitable when we have this many new players.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It does look like at least he is looking for the Nidorina, which will be, once he finds a very quick evolution.
Oh yeah, he has an open spot in his inventory, so
he
in
has
his body.
Moonstone.
Yeah. Dearest Nidorino, can you tell your girlfriend to show up? Thank you.
Ironically, it does seem to be like the 10%.
Oh look, and we get praised by Lord Spaghetti Monster.
Vegan spaghetti.
In all honesty, Tangela is one of those unappreciated pokes that can actually be runnable. With 110 special, it's nothing to scoff about.
You really just have to worry about it's like, what, base 40 special defense?
It is quite slow as well. Speaking about that, while we sit here waiting for him to find a Nidorina, what are those mains you like to main, Kevin, that are not popular among the people, but you still like them?
When I was newer, I actually had, just by chance, kept running for like a good few months. Just kept running Slowbro and Slowking a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they're slow, but they're really solid. They've got good firepower. If they're special, they are pretty defensive and bulky. They're just slow.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I mean, it's in the name,
reliable.
Slowking and Slowpoke.
Yeah, they can be pretty reliable and pretty solid. And then there's the meme of Sea King, which
Oh yeah, that I was there when that started.
yeah.
Now, me myself, I like Politoed a lot. It's one of those bulky water types that it's average, but it can get the job done for you. I like Hitmonlee a lot. I always nickname it Sanji from One Piece, the character. And I like Arcanine a lot. Arcanine is a popular poke, but it's a buddy of mine for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best Pokemon to run. Its base stat total is like at least 600 or near that.
Oh yeah, it is one of the better Pokemon indeed.
Then there's one of my favorites Pokemon of all time, Flareon.
Okay, so I just got a message. He is forfeiting. He is so close. How could make up your mind? Is he He told me he was, question mark.
Bit of mixed communications. It looks like he clicked the finish button on race time already.
Oh.
At 2 hours, 20 minutes, and 29 seconds. It looks like he probably meant to click the forfeit button, but
yeah.
at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, he is. Yeah, let's invite him, see if he wants to get in the call.
Yeah, looks like Trikkums is here. Let's drag him in.
Yes.
Hello, Trikkums.
Hello, friend.
Oh my god, hello.
hello.
So, it's a bit unfortunate how this played out, but tell us your thoughts going through this.
So, it started off alright, I thought. I had a couple of like weird movements and I hit a couple of optionals and I was like, okay, whatever, we'll carry on. And then as soon as I because the Electabuzz at the start having just a Sludge Bomb, trying to like force it through, fighting that Entei was pretty good, but then yeah, once I got the Tauros in the contest, winning that, like I felt really good going through. But yeah, some of the info was obviously not missing. Like any of those that were missing, I could have finished so long ago. And then yeah, I think I realized I think I used like an energy powder or something to lower and not being able to get 27 kind of, and a few other things kind of really just kind of put me back. And then at the end I was trying to find stuff to evolve, and then well, Eevee was in tin and Caterpie was nowhere, and I was like, right, what could I easy? So then I was at the end I was trying to get Nidorina, because obviously I tried doing it under I'm trying to remember the route name, but under Equity, never found that there. And I don't remember that Nidorina were in that water, and then at the end I just got really flustered, and I don't know what I was trying to do to the Cleffa. I thought in my mind, because I've never tried to like do anything with a Cleffa before, and for life me I thought it was level, and I was like, oh, it should evolve by now. I had to Google and then realised my mistake, and then that was 5 minutes wasted going through. So I thought it just right to call it for that one.
That is fair enough.
The Nidorina was in Blackthorn Water where you were looking. It looks like it was the 10%. So
yeah, because I found the Tangler as well. It's just Nidorino after Nidorino. So yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend at a later time just watching back this race and learning from your mistakes I would recommend that to basically all newer runners.
Yeah, I was looking to anyway, because I like to kind of like, at least like self-analyze and think what could I have done. I don't.
What we like to do, what we did in the commentary is tell us what people normally do, how we would have done it, and you can learn a bit from that. I do have a question because I found it a really weird play that you would main switch to the Tauros where you had such an incredible good Entei.
I wasn't sure, like, because I looked at the moves with, because I don't know what it was. There was something like I was looking at I don't know if again because I myself I've watched everything before, but it's only really the last 2 months that I've actually really started getting onto Bingo. Life things, and I just was never able to get onto it. But it's only really the last 2 months I've started to go onto it, and I saw the moveset on that Tauros, and I thought, well, they were similarly leveled, and I thought there was, for one reason or another, I thought there was more progression to be made with the Tauros than the Entei. That was a mistake on my part for that, but it got me through, so I was happy with what I had.
Well,
with the
it wasn't a mistake. They you could have said they were of equal main power, but what bit you in your behind of it is that you didn't get enough happiness on the Tauros for TM2127.
Yeah, as once because I was looking through and I was going through the goals, and I think it was as soon as I've done the shiny, I looked at 27. I was like, I've not used it enough. And as soon as I realized it was way too long then. So yeah, I thought I made a play just thinking the Tauros will get me faster everywhere, but then it completely threw away the 27.
Yeah, it was a bit
even in the end, the 27 would have helped because I was still missing goals, but still.
Yeah, what you also like, it was you ran away from you fished up a Nidoran earlier on, which is a level 16 evolve and a Moonstone poke, and it was just a bit weird that you didn't catch that.
Yeah, I'm not even sure because I had everything starred. I don't know if it, in my mind I was just hoping to come across any of the new information. I think that again that comes with my inexperience. Like I was just plowing. I had a mindset of where I was looking to go with it, and I think it's just I didn't adapt to the situation, and I was like So I think that's definitely something like I will absolutely be rewatching everything back, and I'd love to hear like your guys' thoughts on everything, and take that going through. Like I for sure am doing that. It's just I think it was after a few things I was getting really flustered, and because I was so nervous about this anyway. I think it just built, and I just made these snap decisions, and it ultimately cost me. So
yeah, we saw you being at the start. We saw you like being a bit nervous, like you were huffing, puffing, and you were like concentrating a bit. It was enjoyable to watch.
I imagine I was looking like proper intense. I imagine because I was full eyes on the screen, like yeah.
But anyway, I do have a few questions of my own that I was wondering. One of the bigger things is you could have you had a really easily accessible fourth Pokemon to evolve. That was the Poliwhirl from the Game Corner.
Yeah, the game corner poke could also have been an easy evolve.
Yeah, I think it's especially at the moment because my current setup. So IRL again, I only have the one screen, so I'm kind of like I was trying to manage enough things at the moment. So normally I'm. For some reason, or like I didn't have kind of a notes going through, and it completely passed me by that was I didn't include that into the mind of going through what was in Game Corner because again I was looking for any of the things that were missing, and I didn't note it. Yeah, no, of course.
That's where experience will.
If you want Trikkums, it sounds like you're British. Apologizes if I'm wrong. We're in the same time zone. I'm Dutch. If you want and you have time, I can bingo with you the next coming days. Practice with you a little bit. Teach you some tips and tricks for before your next match if you're interested in it.
I would love that. Yeah, I'll ping you a DM because I have most of actually like next week free because stuff going on. So I would love that.
Regardless, we do need to actually start wrapping this up. This has been a pretty lengthy race, but coming up on SpeedGaming 2, this channel right here, in a bit under an hour, it looks like we will have another race. It is going to be Horse versus Cavalta.
That would be a very interesting race.
It's going to be. I don't know much about Cavalta, but Horse has been around in the community for a very
Horse is in my book one of the top 5 players that I could easily see him snatch one of the championship. So that's if you guys want to see a very good fast game, definitely watch that game.
But with that, I suppose let's start shouting out people. Shoutouts to our runners. Let's see if our bot commands are fixed.
Most of them are fixed, indeed. Yeah, follow the runners. Trikkums, the 14th pie for Atuna. And then we've been your commentators, Lord Bakura, and then Kevin856. And yeah, the next race shall start within the hour, I believe. So yeah, thanks again, Trikkums, for the race.
Yeah,
Better
no,
luck
it's
next
been a
time.
blast.
Better
Like I
luck
say,
next time.
that's the whole thing. Because what I was saying to everyone else, like this is literally my first race, and everything just But it was a great. I loved
really
it.
well.
I loved
you
it.
did really well up until Chuck. After Chuck, we totally saw
Yeah.
where you missed the boat a bit. So there's you should be really proud of your performance today. For
Yeah, I'm
one of
happy
the
with it.
first
I'm
time.
just sad I couldn't finish. Is all. That's
Yeah, but anyway, I've been Cabinet56. We'll catch you next time, and have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day, everybody. See ya.
Bye.